AWC. They are 4th seed right now, so they're still, you know, doing pretty decent on the standings. But I feel like if they get knocked out in 8th place,
it's rough. You only have one more cup.
Yeah, yeah,
it's rough.
I feel like that can definitely be a big problem, you know, moving forward. So they got, you know, they got a pretty tough opener here. They lost the blind pick, and now they got to beat Echo, which has been their kryptonite for pretty much as long as I can remember.
I'm surprised.
Tough one for sure.
I'm surprised it's not Swapsy playing the Moonkin, because he historically was the Moonkin player on the team, and I know he had a Moonkin at the top of the ladder as well last season. I wonder if it's because they want to use Moonkin Ellie maybe in the future, so Tessia can play the Moonkin and then they can maybe use that. But Moonkin Ellie's not really been like it has its moments, but I'd say in this season, I don't know if I'd say it's like going to be a comp that you want to prioritize on. So maybe Tessia has more synergy, but I don't know if that's true. I feel like Swapsy's been playing with Brunhilde for a really long time. Obviously, maybe there's rogue mage synergy, like offensively. Maybe Tessia and Brunhilde will have better offensive synergy as opposed to Swapsy, who I would say is more defensive oriented. It'll be interesting to see like that playstyle difference, because Swapsy's normally the boomkin on this team, I think.
I think this is something that like a lot of teams are kind of having issues with, like even Echo, you know, like we were talking about it earlier, right? That they were expecting a Moonkin rogue potentially from Echo, but I think Waz is the Moonkin and Waz is the rogue, and Waz is the Windwalker and Waz is the rogue, and Waz is the Windwalker and Waz is the Moonkin, you know. So like there's so many kind of issues like that arise, and I think it's the same, right? For WWF, like Tessia is the Moonkin, oh, but so is Swapsy. So unless you're, you know, planning on running double Moonkin, I feel like a lot of these teams, they need to try to clean up.
All right, Rhea.
Who plays what.
We play tomorrow. We
easier said than done, because you know
do play tomorrow.
You have to kind of go back
Hey,
and
Zumi.
learn something that you're maybe not like used to, but at the same time, the meta is always evolving as well. So comps that you historically don't see, like Windwalker Rogue, historically it's good. Like you have Trip, he plays Rogue and Windwalker. You have, you know, Waz, he plays Rogue and Windwalker. Like you have Nick, you know, you have all of these players that can play Rogue and Windwalker, because historically you never play Rogue and Windwalker together. But now all of a sudden, there's teams playing Rogue Windwalker and doing really well with it. So now, historically, the guy who's been your Windwalker might need to split that responsibility. So I think a lot of it comes down to the meta as well, kind of favoring some teams and not favoring others, depending on which classes go together.
I feel like if Wandering Water Furbogs were in like an Ellie Outlaw meta, that they would be doing really well. I think that as a team that they would be dominating, and that's just not the case.
Yep, check it. We'll get some more
how they can adapt
in one
to
sec.
a more current meta composition for themselves. The last time they got in the gauntlet, they didn't even get out of it. So they really want to not be in the gauntlet if they can. But given the fact that it's already 180 point three-way tie for top 3, like I don't even know. Like you're not going to do it if you go out in 8th. You have. I feel like
it's kind of crazy actually. So what they're talking about right now,
avoid the gauntlet.
They're talking about the fact that
still have a chance, because you'd also be knocking Echo, right? You'd be
so
knocking out somebody.
Echo won the last land, but they didn't win any of the actual things. So there's a tie right now instead. Like all the land stuff, where they all the cross region stuff doesn't matter.
The same predictions. Like it's very hard to anticipate who's even.
This is DH Rogue. Or DH Rogue?
Absolutely. And we are back from.
I was wondering about those. We haven't tested it yet with the guarantee.
Game, but it's all resolved right now, and we got game number 2 here between Echo and WWF, and we are going to see Raikou immediately making his way towards that Moonkin of Tessia. Kinisha coming out onto next gouge.
This comp does seem like it would bang the prez though.
Nice.
Oh.
Putting the pressure back onto Raikou, huge damage, and that is going to force out the trinket and nether walk. So really good.
Bro, what happened to the fucking meta, man? Everyone.
It was 2 birds with 1 stone. They got to peel for Next, and they got to get their setup. But now Next is on the back foot. They're racing him down. They force his time stop.
What happened?
So he's effectively immune himself to damage. He cancels it to go for a deep breath to try and escape. As
It's both comps, man.
No trinket. It's gonna be
at the same time.
Right now for Echo,
but I was wondering how good Priest would be for it.
Time dilations himself on the cheap shot. He's not
that is super interesting.
Damage, but the time dilation now just fades. He's going to rescue Tessia, hover back into the middle of the map. He's going to have to focus on kiting and playing defensive. I don't want to see him going for any sleepwalks if he's getting trained like this. He needs to
Priest is pretty interesting for though.
Hold him into bad spots and let Tessia freak ass cyclones when he's the target. They get the cyclone onto the demon hunter. They're swapping to the rogue. Waz just gets gripped back to the pillar, and I don't see them taking Waz down. Now they're swapping their attention back onto Raikou.
Hey, you're doing good, thanks, buddy.
Blur,
how you doing today?
Or maybe attemptively try and preempt it before some CC, but Tessia can't get to Lone Tar, and he is playing that gnome priest, so they don't get that guaranteed setup. It's got to be like a gouge kid.
He missed the that was a press like that he missed, I believe.
Dismantled on the go. Nice peel from Waz, but maybe it doesn't even matter. Raikou is getting blasted down just from Next and Tessia, and now Waz gets cleaved as well. That
what was game one?
Trinket, and even despite Waz disarming the rogue and stopping him from attacking mostly on that setup, they still got what they wanted from that setup.
Honestly, Tessia's got his incarnation coming up here in just 30 more seconds. They got good pressure here onto Waz as well. Can they get the Cloak of Shadows here onto Waz? They're pushing for it, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find it just yet. Gouge there onto Lone Tar. Waz dropping quite low here in that kidney shot. Tessia going for the cycle.
Next kidney will be with Incon. You can see if get this working. Look at this cooldown right here. This is their win condition. I mean, that's trinket for right. He has trinket, but no nether. No nether this time. They trinket nether the first one. He'll have trinket dark. It looks like only trinket dark. If they go fast enough, you won't actually have this cooldown. This is not available yet. So if they go really fast, they can actually use one tap.
So his team doesn't have to emergency peel for him, and it's not. They're not using their diminishing returns to.
So we're looking at this cooldown right here.
Another gouge onto Lone Tar. Tessia needs to get in position. Brunhilde gets a kidney shot. They're doing it. They're doing the swap. They're sending onto Lone Tar.
Oh, Lone Tar.
Darkness. They should likely maybe consider it.
I don't need to. He just use.
The beam. He jumps into his angel form.
And Tari them with a 9-3 somebody.
He's an option for a target moving forward. They may even just attack him out of this angel. He's still quite low.
The PvE from the Vanda is a higher level than the PvP guy.
To reset that Serenity.
Only a couple pieces of shit.
He's line of sighting Cyclone. Tessia is fishing for them over and over. There's a cheap shot. Lone Tar's going to cast while the cheap shot is out, but now he's into a cheap shot.
There shouldn't be much, so we're looking at right.
Waz is isolated.
I'll look after this.
I'm not sure, even with no trinket, if he's still
should just be like
target.
ring basically.
Trinket and Lone Tar's trinket again. Brunhilde in a bit of trouble. Next into a chastise. No follow up CC. Brunhilde recovers. They swap back onto Tessia. Trying to put him on the back.
I was wondering about double storm slash.
This is a full respect Emerald Communion. It didn't seem like there was a lot of damage there. They didn't even commit the essence break. I feel like that might have been a premature move from Next, and that was a very valuable cooldown that he might not see again.
Some very interesting gear on.
Yeah, Next definitely respecting the situation, but we'll see if they can capitalize on it on the side of Echo right now. Mana definitely is in favor of Lone Tar as he gets triple the Arc Cyclone there. Now
this is low bracket, yeah.
Play the game, connects with the Guardian there onto Waz. Next actually trying to dodge some CC right there. Still completely fine here, keeping his team in the match, and Raikou is taking some damage, but Waz is sitting through a Cyclone, so Raikou shouldn't be taking too much damage, but as I say that, he gets cloned on low HP.
Yeah, it's actually normally okay, it's no big deal. You know, Echo being a low bracket doesn't matter, they'll still qualify, but in this case they won the mid-season invitational, whatever it is, right? But they did not get any points for it at all. It wasn't part of the point system to qualify for the actual main event of the regions. So it's actually like a sketchy situation for Echo still. I will say I'm not super impressed by DA's rogue in this situation.
He's gonna pop thorns now. A big swap onto Waz. Still doesn't even need to trinket that cheap shot lockdown. Brunhilde's trying to go for the kill. Star Surges with power infusion incarnation. This is a big boost of damage for Tessia. Forces Cloak of Shadows from Waz. That's now over. But
I think he dies. He doesn't play Alva.
Amidst this trade, Next is trying to rescue him into the corner. He goes for a Cyclone. He gets it onto Waz. Kidney shot on Lone Tar.
But you are right. I mean, you have so many stuns from.
They swap the clone. They force Lone Tar's trinket.
Boom DH. I don't think Boomy DH is a good matchup into like a great matchup into Rogue DH.
Get a couple of disintegrates and start regenerating mana.
Especially Perez.
At this point, he's in a position where maybe he could in that far back point near the pillar. Solar Beam comes down. It looks like Lone Tar fake.
Maybe it's close.
Now Raikou is into a Cyclone. As he comes back out, he's going to connect immediately onto Tessia. Kidney shot on Next. This has to be a bark skin, I think, for Tessia. He needs to respond. Heart of the Wild. He's deep into dampening. He's going to get 2 frenzied regens here. Even with 2 frenzied regens, he's still just dying. He's trying to Typhoon them away, trying to get distance, but so difficult to kite a Demon Hunter and an Outlaw Rogue. They're still all over him. Next is into a Sap, into a Fear, and Lone Tar is going for the kill. Tessia to him to try and escape, but it is not enough. Tessia will meet his fate. Echo now 2-0.
Really nice chain there at the end for Echo, and I mean, for Echo, they did a
They wasted a good amount of time going other stuff if they were planning to kill DH.
ball to those super deadly Moonkin Rogue swaps, and then they found their kind of momentum.
If they're able to kill the Moonkin that easily.
Able to watch out the win.
So looking at gear, I mean, it's interesting what they're actually using. Like, they've definitely cooked a decent amount. He's actually not playing the NA build either. This DH is actually playing the old build. So the build that people have swapped to on NA is they actually drop the point in Shattered Destiny and they drop this verse point and they put it over here into these two talents, and it is actually a pretty substantial damage increase. I don't know why I didn't, like, broke the bill when I did that. But yeah, people have dropped these points, and it actually is a really large damage increase. It easily wins on damage. I wonder if that just hasn't happened on NA, on EU, or whether that's like whether it's changed this patch again or something. But
also something that's interesting about this patch is that they've put the bullion vendor, I think is what it's called, which lets you get gear from previous seasons, and you can upgrade it to the same as
he's playing Reef.
528, and some of them can go even higher to like 535.
It's nerfed in talent. It's 2% for a talent now, which is not bad. But the biggest thing is the actual damage you gain from Shattered Destiny is just incredibly low.
It's like
incredibly low.
Both his weapons, he's wearing rings that like dealing fire damage.
And through glaive procs the dot.
Another dot on the target. He's wearing a bunch of gear that previously wasn't.
It's possible that he just didn't change. Like NA's got some pretty like it's a very big DH minute on NA, I guess.
For certain items like that.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, Riker has been doing a lot of damage. Typically demon hunters do top the damage charts in arena.
That is a lot though.
Even when there was a demon hunter on the enemy team, he still managed to get a pretty significant lead when it comes to damage here. So, just a pretty solid pick here from Echo, and all of a sudden now you're WWF. It's not looking too good for you. You're down 2-0. Like, what are you gonna do here?
There's the match.
Here it is, match point. It's lower bracket. Like. And here we can see actually
the magic snowball.
A little bit on the death log.
That was Trill Tech, dude. Waz stole the Trill Tech. Trill was the only one that knew the snowball existed at the finals, and now Waz is wearing the snowball. I mean, that's like an extra Star Surge. You're just throwing a little snowball at his head. You just proc another Star Surge. He's got the two-piece on with the Storm Lash for Raikou. I don't know if we have a details breakdown to see like what's the percent overall. Does it really matter that much?
He's rocking the double lasher.
Double storm slash, kind of interesting.
He's wearing other stuff too that gives him the shield.
I think it was
double PV ring.
Had like a weapon that
they execute.
It only worked in.
Worked
in Uldum.
I remember that.
It works in Tolvir.
The PV ring, I'm not sure it was worth it. The second one.
It was called like it had like some proc.
I'm not even sure that Storm Slash is worth it.
And now we're going to Tolvir, so maybe
maybe that's what he's doing on the Moonkin. He wants to get the staff for the extra damage. I mean that's the strat, bro. It's a hidden buff for staff wielding casters to go to Tolveron and wear this staff. I don't even know what dungeon that staff is from. I need to figure out where it's from and get it. I want to know.
Does it exist this patch?
I want to know like how good is this actually? Also, I feel like you can wear older legendaries, so I think evokers can wear their legendary from season 2. Yeah, so they've got a 535 weapon. It's like proccing extra stats and speed for their allies. It's probably another reason why you're gonna see
Snowball. It's an embellishment. So if I show you his gear, I'll show it to me. It's crafted gear
in this matchup. So
it is.
The fact that they were so far behind on mana, I think was really the biggest problem.
Braces.
Yeah.
These right here.
I'm just like looking at all the gear
and string.
See what people end up doing, and there was a new
waist.
And
waist and braces.
Second, that seal of
actually, has a lot of healing as well.
That's a ring. It's got to be a ring.
Wait, I want to see this. Where's the Storm Slash damage?
The Storm Lash.
4% damage from the
doesn't look like it's worth it, man. I'm gonna be honest.
The Storm Lash doesn't seem to be doing a lot of damage.
It's literally not there unless it's less than 2%. It has to be.
It's 1%. That does not seem worth it.
1.3%. But Wait, I think that's these are the
That
hits
seems
you can get
bad.
for 47,000 though. Like the thing is,
You're dropping
it's not a lot of
stats.
overall
Taste.
damage, but
If it procs at the right moment.
during a go, like if it procs like as you're stunning the healer and you're sending a full all in, or as
Wait, is he not force it?
CC and you're trying to take somebody down.
Is there
Getting an
hunt
extra
dot as well?
50
No, there's not.
proc is actually really
Is he not force it?
Yeah, if they can find their moments. Let's see if Tessia puts on the hidden stab
is.
that Sam I found. This is the advantage of having Trill on your team, right? Because he's part of the Race to World First, which is like all about this. It's just like we need to find any advantage we can get that's in the game. Some weird crafted item no one ever considered.
I don't think the storm slashing is worth it.
Profession tab, and
I'm not
Trill will be
convinced
the one
that
finds it. And then they try and keep that a secret,
the
but then as
absorb
soon as it's out,
on this
everybody's
is
like,
worth it
"Oh,
either,
okay."
because I don't think you want haste
That's my
as a
tech
DH.
now,
I think you
so
really
we
would
got
rather just have
Boss
verse and
with the
mastery.
snowballs, Raikou with the
So I think
snowball
min-maxing your
hashtag, and
stats is better
as soon as
than
we're in the
having
offhand, which
3
I saw
items go
Nick
into the
Drew
wrong
on the solo
stats.
shuffle ladder and the number 1
Actually,
spot
4
had it, and I was like,
technically.
"What is
But
that?"
1
It's
pays
like
for itself really well.
a dot and a snare on the target. I was like, I need to get this offhand. Like, you figure out where this, what this drops from. Like, I need to get this. So it's possible that he might actually just keep wearing the same offhand and not wear the staff. I don't know how much better the staff is given the map. Maybe the staff, I would think it would have to be better given the location for the arena. But they're on last point here. They have to pull a reverse sweep, and they're actually going to their first composition, the Demon Hunter Elemental. Which makes me wonder if they're worried, like the Prez. Usually Prez is not that good into rogues. That could be like one of the main difficult points for Prez. So bringing in the Holy
Disable
Priest
spell now.
it might be better for them, but I don't know. This is just going to be unstable for both teams. It's going to be completely unstable. That's not what you want if you're WWF. Echo are leaving the match though. Seems like they've got a problem here, but you are allowed to leave the match before the gates open. It won't be counting as a loss there for them. They left pretty quick. There was 1 second left before the gate could open. I actually got kind of close. They got kind of close.
Well, this gives us actually something more to talk about here that I also wanted to mention. I wanted to see if we can get healing done from Raikou, because he's also playing the ring that gives you a shield, right? So I want to see how effective that is.
Oh yeah,
And
healing done.
Also, in addition to, yeah, so we're going to need the Raikou's healing done, and then we're also going to need a Waz breakdown here, because Waz is also playing the Fire Ring, and he's playing Shadow Flame Weapon Enchant, which procs it. So this is also new tech for sure, because usually you play, what is it, Sophic Devotion?
On both, yeah.
X2, but he has Shadow Flame Wreath, and then he's playing the Fire Ring as a rogue, and he also has the Fire Crown, the Jewel of the Fire Lord Transmog. So he's really going all out on that Fire Mage theme.
What is the weapon enchant he has on his main hand? I've never seen this weapon enchant before. The illusion is
Procs fire damage.
no, the illusion. Sorry, it's like some weird metal. It's
You're
like,
talking about the Transmog.
yeah, it's I thought you were talking about the transmog with the Fire Lord. Wait, am I?
I was talking about the
Yeah,
Transmog.
okay, so I was talking about the transmog when you mentioned the transmog. I was looking at this like
I didn't expect you
I've never
to jump in.
I've never seen this weapon enchant cosmetic. It looks like sparkles or something coming off of his weapon. Where is his sword? Why can't I see what it looks like? What it is? I can't. Oh, it doesn't show the weapon illusion enchant, I don't think. Unfortunately, he's hiding a really cool looking weapon illusion enchant. We can't find it out. But Waz's team with this cleave is doing really well. It seems like so far. It seems like it's pretty well rounded. It's durable. They're winning the late game. It's almost playing like a modern day turbo cleave from like Warlords of Draenor or something. Just 2 really durable melee DPS, win on mana, pump out big numbers, and focus on efficiency.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's a pretty well-rounded comp, and it does have, you know, decent survivability, good ghost, good longevity. And I feel like for Echo though, is this the answer, Sid? Is this their answer? Because I feel like Echo, they had kind of a similar thing going last season. You know, they weren't sure, are we gonna play Rogue Mage? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna play Mage Lock? Are we like, we have so many options. Which one are we gonna really invest most of our time into? And I don't know. Rogue Demon Hunter, I feel like it's just a worse version of Rogue Windwalker. But Rogue Windwalker should be better than Rogue Demon Hunter overall.
If it goes head to head, I would think. I feel like Demon Hunter is just.
Yeah, I think head to head, but also like just in general, like you probably have more good matchups with Windwalker. Also, didn't Windwalkers get a buff?
Yeah, Windwalkers are very,
Their set bonus?
very happy about their set bonus. The Rising Sun kick.
I'm randomly dying instantly to Rising Sun kick, so I feel like, yeah, that could be something.
There's a lot on the line here in this game 3 match point. Echo had some sort of technical difficulty that they wanted to sort out here before jumping into the final game. Wandering Water Furbogs are relying on the comp they picked in the first game, which, I mean, it looked decent. It actually looked like they were winning throughout the midpoint, and then there was just a teetering point where it was like, it just fell over. It looked like they just all died immediately, and I think it's when Lone Tar actually was able to get just 1 CC on Next. That's how high intensity the game was. It's like, you just got 1 chastise on him, and then Next just fell apart. He couldn't keep up with the damage that was coming out, and it got chained, I think, into a kidney shot. I also wonder maybe if Next whether he should play Chastise Stun or play regular Chastise, because he has the Demon Hunter on his team. It's also possible Swapsy can maybe abuse Hex a little more with no D-Curse on the side of Echo. There might be some opportunities. I don't think he was playing Unleash Shield either, which I was kind of surprised. I think if you actually run Static Field, Unleash Shield, and Thunderstorm with 3 knocks, you can get like a bit of distance. Every once in a while, you just focus it all on the Rogue. Or you can force him to vanish to get out of extra root or something, and then you can't use it as offensively. But we'll have to see here. The gates are about to open. Are they ready for it? Because honestly, if WWF go here, I think their best shot is getting in the gauntlet. I don't think they're going to have much hope of getting into the top 3.
It's kind of true. It's really rough for them, actually.
Yeah.
All right, we're in a game.
We'll see what they can do here. WWF on match point right now against Echo in the lower bracket. Loser is immediately knocked out of the tournament.
I mean, this seems like a bad matchup. I'm assuming that Raiku's going to play the fire, like the double dispel build, and just kind of be immune. But the priest also just wants to dispel spell. Like priest and Ellie does seem pretty good as well, because of the way that priest works. Like priest gets a heal just automatically for just spam dispelling, which also hits Ellie Shaman, and they have double dispel, so it's, yeah, should be very, very difficult to do anything.
Be able to start resetting some cooldowns and start getting his heal to okay health levels. Look at Swapsy though, while Next is sitting through a gouge. Swapsy actually forced to burrow underneath the ground there.
So this comp felt so bad last season, but
really feeling the pressure here just a minute into the game.
Okay, so Swapsy is playing Unleash Shield. He just knocked Waz back. It uses Lightning Shield and Earth Shield. It knocks them back and roots the target for 2 seconds. This could be really important for Swapsy. And there's the Static Field pulling Raikou away. He needs as many knockbacks as he can get to try and limit the uptime of the melee attackers here, but they've decided to trade Darkness. I mean, this is both Darkness from both sides, already 1 minute and 20 seconds into this game. Surprisingly, the mana is still stable, even despite how chaotic the
I mean,
game
150
is.
KDPS is pretty fucking strong. Look at that.
Swapsy with limited options. Next
The
is gonna
fuck?
activate the Guardian Spirit. They stun Lone Tar. They knock Lone Tar behind the pillar with
I don't know
Unleash
if DK
Shield,
does
an
150
offensive move that
KDPS
you
like
can't use
that.
it on Waz. I really would like to see him punish Waz when he grapples over, and then he steps, then use the knockbacks when he's got no mobility left to reconnect. Because now Waz is going to get guaranteed uptime, and Lone Tar's actually getting aggressive. He's next going to be able to avoid it. They root Lone Tar, trying to prevent him from pushing in for CC. Doesn't look like he's going to go for it anymore. Raikou is ducking over to try and kick Next on his cast. So
what they should do is be just doing, like, the kill target is not Swaps anymore. The kill target is Brunhitty.
Switch to Raikou. He's got Blur up, but it may just be fading here in a moment if it hasn't already.
They didn't have any damage. They waited on that kidney. I think they should have one tap Brunhitty right there.
And more single target burst. I don't think you're going to kind of pad the meter as an Ellie against this. It's such a durable comp, but they're falling so far behind, and even despite the angel form of Next, Swapsy has to activate even more defensive cooldowns to survive in this position. And now their options are slim. They really need pressure, but here comes a swap onto Brunhitty. Are they ready for it? Next trades out the Void Shift. They're just falling further and further behind. And Raikou gets a full stun.
They should use every go on Brunhitty. Every time there's a Essence Break or I-Beam transform, they should just kidney Brunhitty and send delay damage into him. Raikou in trouble though. Raikou in a lot of trouble. There's another trade. And no Void Swap. So no overlap there. But they've got no trinkets, so you can see they're actually in a lot of danger. But Brunhitty and Swapsy are the ones likely to go down here. Swapsy burrows. But Brunhitty has Blur up right now. Apparently. It's just a bloodbath. Not decisive. Waz has got Vanish that just came up now. So he's not dead. Brunhitty's vulnerable, but has Trinket. We got Wall, no Wall and Trinket here. There's Dark Trade from Raikou. No vanish on Was anymore, so like Was pretty. That's pretty his last vanish of the game. Lone Star winning on mana. It looks like Swapsy for now is the play. Bernhitti's gets off stun, doesn't trinket. Raikou goes to 1 health. He has life slip traded.
They might just kill him through it. Raikou now finally activates the metamorphosis and gets aggressive here. Back onto Swapsy, but Swapsy has Astral Shift. He's in Guardian.
I don't know. This is not, this trinket Astral for Swapsy. Swapsy's not dead. Trinket Blur for Bernhitti. He's not dead. They've almost got Darkness. I think that Echo might lose here.
Seconds. He can heal for free in that angel form. 4 more seconds. They knock them away with the static field. They need to get distance for as long as possible.
They just have to get 2 kidneys.
Next is immediately going to pop.
Oh wait, no, he pre-walled. He could have trinketed for it. Oh, he's dying through her. Okay, never mind. I think DHL is in the lead now. They have no defensives. Other than no, they have no defensives.
From Echo, Thunderstorm knocks away for a
moment.
Brunhitti's Darkness just came off cooldown right when they get a full blind on the healer. Insane timing for Brunhitti's Darkness. It's giving them somewhat of a chance right now. Lone Star into a stun with no trinket. Was with limited
no
options.
cooldown. Striker dies.
Is he gonna survive?
Nice life grip.
And Bell rushes around to the other side to avoid Swapsy's.
We got trinkets coming up.
Now Swapsy needs to survive for a few more moments. Apotheosis for next. He can get free Serenities here. He resets his Chastise. He stuns Wall.
We have Burrow in 3, 2, 1. Burrow.
Away from his wall. He might have to use both at the same time. He goes down through.
He didn't get the Burrow off. He was in the air just slightly.
Oh, and this is.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was clean. Was he double dispel?
Like what's going on there? How does he do 12 million more damage than Brunhitti in his matchup?
I want to see if he's playing.
That's pretty impressive. Coming out.
Toron.
Blazing here.
Raikou.
Playing Outlaw Rogue with.
Nah, he's Shattered Destiny. He's not playing Double Dispel. Maybe this don't feel like they need it. But I feel like Double Dispel would have been. Nah, they don't need it. I mean, we never really played it either. I guess it's fine.
Having a constant heart attack, basically trying to keep these players alive. 1 minute.
I do think he's burning wounds. They would have won faster.
I think it's actually right here. He gets swapped, and he almost dies through it. Finally, Lonta recovers him, and then here another close call there for Raikou. And when he got grip back, gets full HP, gets back into it, and then they make. I think this was the final push here of the game to get the stun, and then I think they grip Swapsy. They managed to chase him down, and Nexus has no mana left here at this point. You know, having to heal all this damage that's coming out from Raikou and Waz, and Echo still alive here in the lower bracket, and they're really going to need to get as many wins as possible down there because they are in that 3-way tie.
I'm curious if we see more of that. They got up. So Echo will be playing again today. When you're in the lower bracket, you are not through the day until you win twice.
They definitely are happy about this.
So we'll see them play at the end of the stream. They'll be like one of the last 2 games of the stream. Probably the we think they should be the second to last game of the stream.
They want to win everything. The fact that they're in the lower bracket, even to begin with, in Cup number 1, is not a position that they want to be. They
lost to a Cleve, I believe.
Force, the unbeatable team that everybody is just terrified.
So we'll see.
Against.
But yeah, I mean, Raiku's damage death is huge, right? Look at that.
You know, put a test.
Look at this, 42 mil.
I mean, it's not often you're
but
the damage
as a team,
in a
it's not
like this,
quite
kind of like both teams
20 mil on the Rogue,
like,
42 mil. They actually only did a little more.
Maybe the Rogue stuns is the only thing that might be putting you behind, but he is doing a lot of damage.
It's kind of Cleve.
I'm gonna take a look at the gear here on both of these Demon Hunters to see if there's a big difference. But
very interesting game though.
Coming out hungry today.
I think that's just Raikou Riz. To be honest with you. But I mean, what an incredible series with Echo here. You know, it's kind of they're testing the waters just a little bit. I think many people on the desk predicted Echo to come out on top with that one. They're going to be moving forward here in the lower bracket. Sid, is this a comp that can carry them forward and continue on down there in the elimination brackets?
Well, I mean, it beat the Boomkin Rogue and the Wandering Water Furbogs, which I think is the composition that knocked them down here in the first place. So this might just be what they've crafted to deal with that specifically. It was a Bikini Bottom Mafia that played that Boomkin Rogue composition that sent them down here. So yeah, I mean, it beat them one time. It was enough to force them off the comp. Either whether that maybe it's preparation is one thing, but they lost on mana. It was a pretty decently long game. It wasn't like Tessie hasn't played Boomkin before and kind of died without bar skinning or something, right? It felt like a very legitimate game. So Echo definitely, I think, have some options now. They must have got some war games, sorted things out after that first defeat. And that's the thing, right? When a new meta comes out, Echo sometimes they drop the ball, but as soon as they figure out what the meta is, they'll just do it better than you. And that's when you're in danger.
Like you cut off one head and just grows two more and just comes back even stronger. Maybe that's not Medusa. I don't know, some kind of mythical dragon thing. But that's how I'm imagining Echo, because you're absolutely right. I mean, they may stumble a little bit. We may see them struggling, but it's just time and time again, this team proves itself to be able to come back even stronger. And maybe we're going to see that happen this weekend, but they're still going to be waiting on an opponent. We've got a couple of upper bracket matches that we've got to get through before we do see who's going to be dropping down to face off against Echo. But that being said, we have one more elimination round before we get into that, and it is going to be Brute Beasts, Zico versus Hulabang.
That is absolutely right. We got Brute Beasts, which aren't super known as a team. Can Keto, Immers, and Tygal Ways. Tygal
Ways Twitch. Please message us, any of you guys from Brute Beasts, if we're if we're butchering your names.
Yeah, so these guys, they're the 13th seed. The good news for them is they when you're in that position, you got nothing to lose. You're playing spoilers. You're trying to get some points. You're trying to sneak into the gauntlet, go for the dream Cinderella run. So I feel like these guys, they shouldn't have too much pressure on them. They're basically, no one is expecting anything.
Echo Wash?
So if they can shock everyone and show
no,
that they are,
no, I would
fantastic. But of course,
I wouldn't say that at all. That seems like a very interesting. No, no. They lost to a team that played a very interesting composition. I believe they lost to Windwalker. We're going to see that in the upper bracket in a sec. Not this game, but the next game. Windwalker Outlaw Rogue, and they were just caught off guard by it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's possible the Brute Beast can recreate that.
Gotta rewind a little bit to when we first saw Hulabang, because I feel like that's the beautiful thing about AWC. These new teams come in, we've seen them on ladder, obviously, and they come in, they make a team, and they just crush everyone. So definitely don't count these guys out. We're going to see them up next after this break. Before we do head there, though, we are bringing back the map guessing segment. If you guys weren't around for the first two cups, we're going to be playing a little game here where we're going to try to guess the arena map based only on the movement of the players. Each replay will be showing movement from competitors in a real match that is at one point been played in AWC. And of course, this is powered by Warcraft Log. So guess along with us in chat. Who was the best? Who was the best here last season? Do we?
This is a weird angle.
I think it was Van.
Probably. I'm going with.
This is a misleading angle. I swear, it's like
I
zoomed in or zoomed out. It's either zoomed out really far, or something shady's going on here. This is not a normal scaling of the map.
Many pillars and my
I think it's
brain
12
I
around.
can't do this without the
I
pillars.
think you'll start seeing
Definitely
it.
one pillar in the bottom left.
It looks like there's one on the top.
Oh, wait, no. That's what it'd be.
There's like a pillar forming. Okay,
Maldraxxus.
I was gonna say Maldraxxus.
Maldraxxus.
Yeah.
I think it's Maldraxxus too.
Oh, it
It
could be
can't be.
Ashmane's. One of those is bigger than the
I
others.
went
There's three. I'm so stupid.
Yeah, I can't change.
Oh, it's
I can't change
Ashmane's.
it. I think Ashmane's
Yeah.
could be right because the pillar at the top looks like it's slightly wider.
It looks a
or
little
different,
bigger.
You know?
There's a square pillar at the top.
Too big to be Maldraxxus.
And the
Chunky,
distance
yeah.
isn't
It's a
as
little-
big
It's
between the pillars.
yeah.
It's either Maldraxxus or Ashmane for sure.
Asherman is my final answer.
That's fair.
do you
Yeah,
got for us?
I said Negrand, but I see 3 pillars now, so I know that I'm wrong.
Oh, it's
Oh, I got
Maldraxxus.
one. I got one.
All right.
But no, Echo just got by a surprise comp. That's
also,
all.
I want to give
No
another
big deal.
reminder. You may see people walking through a pillar, but basically how this works is the data is collected every time they use an ability or something like that. So, they may have just walked completely on the opposite end before doing something else. So,
It's like the yellow circle just ran right through the wall. He's got some new ability.
yeah, exactly. I thought I would just talk about that again. But let us know in chat if you got that correctly. I hope production plays like little. I don't know, like game show music during that segment.
We need like buzzers. We need buzzers.
Yeah,
or something.
we do need buzzers.
Yeah, we do need buzzers.
Please, that would be great.
Nah, I mean they're definitely not washed, but it's possible that the meta has changed drastically since last season. Echo was a team that won last season cross region against everyone with specifically Warlock DH. Well, Warlock DH isn't a comp anymore. or not nearly the same comp anymore. Good morning, Johnny. Did you end up finding tickets today yet? I know it's only been a couple hours, but I assume you're gonna attempt to get that tonight, right? Hopefully I make it. After the next series, take a little break, but talk online for a bit. People are waiting. There's a PvP quest today. This should be quick now. How's the car package work? You just import it. It should be good. How do you install it? You install the WeCars add-on, type //WA in game, click import, and then you go to the WeCar right here, and then you click on copy import string. And then you paste it in right here and then import it.
This space has become overly populated. Wrangle the wild drakes to our handlers so we may take them to a more open land.
He's breaking. Definitely shouldn't break.
Welcome
back?
everyone. We are on the second series of the day. Brute Beast and Hula Bang, both of these teams facing elimination. Both of these teams.
What are we in? We got DH Moonkin against DH.
A little bit more than Hula Bang. Let's see what
Wait,
they're
they
capable of.
changed. Hula Bang's
And
changed to
games
DH
are open.
Windwalker?
Interesting. Brute Beast going to be leading with the Evoker Demon Hunter.
This is
Balance
lower
Druid.
bracket.
This comp has obviously been very popular
Man, the
this
cleaves
season.
of...
We have Hula Bang coming in with one of
So
the
I guess Subrog isn't great into
Windwalkers.
Moonkin
So
is the
we'll have to see
theory, but
how this ends up doing. These double melee seem
Windwalkers
pretty
are
strong so far.
stronger,
We've
so
got
I'm
a
really
big
curious to see
setup
who
with
does
Freddy
more
on
of the
Muse.
two classes.
On top
I'm
of
also curious to see the
Archkin,
gear difference
Windwalker
afterwards
is
as
going to
well.
be switching. Eridos is putting out a ton of pressure on this Moonkin, almost taking him down, but a lot of healing coming in here from Keto.
I mean, this DH is doing 190k DPS. I don't know. I don't know, man. What the fuck? Maybe I haven't seen all my damages like at the start of the game. I suppose.
Poor chicken, but finally a bash coming out here onto Aradas into a cyclone there, actually onto his.
I don't know if it's saying 180k DPS though. Do I?
Value there for Immers, and now Immers looking to push forward there. Keto gets caught up.
This is some wild scaling. As a class that really didn't gain much damage wise. Like they didn't get anything special. They got nerfed. Sustaining 150k DPS.
There's a nice stun there coming out from Kankito with a deep breath, but still forcing out Aradas for just a second before he comes back onto his target. Here comes another setup, paralyzed.
Okay, it's tapering off a little bit.
Dragon and a double leg sweep there in the midfield as well. Tygol here trying to turn around the pressure back onto Aradas, but so far JT has no problems just keeping his team offensive.
Yeah, Serenity up in about 10 seconds. Immuse might not even survive until then. could easily go down, and they need to find some crowd control here onto JT if they want to start developing pressure. Erados taking some damage, but might just trade out the touch of Karma to reverse the damage. Interrupt here onto Muse. Really important that they're slowing down.
So
the
Muse is
cyclone.
definitely
So
not
far, Hulabank
cloning a
has done
bunch.
Really good job of that, avoiding the crowd control and keeping up the damage here on the balance druid. And for the first time, Hulabank is forced to retreat. Looks like they want to put a little pressure on the Demon Hunter. He's got no trinket, so it is possible.
We definitely
to
have
him.
this as
Erados
good.
has the Serenity up, but really
Wait, he's Serenity,
not
but he's
connected
got
to
no
his target,
connection
but it's
whatsoever with
super
that.
Unfortunate as the Windwalker monk, such a huge burst.
Interestingly though, look at this other DH, right? You've got one DH doing 122, you've got one DH doing 83.
Who are trying to mix things up here. If they can take down Hulabank, that is one of the big three here in Europe. So that would be absolutely massive. This is in the lower bracket as well here. So this is going to be a big go here, coming out onto Tygol, dropping extremely low there, but the Nether Walk comes out and saves him in the nick of time. JT and Angel Form channeling out.
Oh wow. Does this the winner of this team fight? No, it doesn't. I don't think.
Keto into the full fear there, connecting as well. Emma's in so much trouble. Barkskin, is it going to be enough? He's got Incarnation active as well. Wants to be aggressive right now. Does not want to be sitting in bear form. They're going after JT here. It looks like no, they're going to Cyclone JT. They're going after Tygol and going after Erados at the same time here. Both of these melees taking a lot of damage here, but now it is going to be back onto Imaz here, and he is actually doing a decent job here attacking elsewhere there as well. But now Imaz in so much trouble. Just blink for a second, and this druid might just evaporate here. He's sold out.
Are you kidding me?
He just got blasted.
Oh.
What? It was like in a chest I stun. What? That was like 80 to 0.
Look at some gear here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest. The Muse health was.
I don't think Erados did. Oh, maybe. I mean, it's more damage.
If I'm Keto,
But why not just play DH Windwalker or DH DK? DH DK would just do more. I don't think Windwalker brings much control there.
Well, it's crazy. Hulabank definitely getting very aggressive in that game number one. It was back and forth though. There was times where Hulabank was under pressure.
Double Storm Slash.
I never really got.
He's copying Raiku's, yeah.
Die, right? Like I constantly felt like Brute Beast was the one that
And
was in
he's
trouble. And even though there was
not
good, like,
Shattered
split
Destiny.
pressure
Is he
coming
playing
in
the
for Brute
build?
Beast, Hulabank's HP
I think he's
got
playing
low.
the
It never really
build.
felt like they were in a position where they were actually going to lose. So I think
Yeah,
heavily
this guy's
influenced
playing the
Hulabank.
normal build. I don't know if Raiku's playing the normal build. This guy's playing the build that everyone else has been playing.
But JT the whole time, he has his trinket, he has his void shift, he has big emergency cooldowns in his back pocket the whole time, and that is why he's also feeling confident to push in here, because he knows, hey, they don't have Barkskin, they don't have trinket on their healer. If I push in, we land the CC, my team has damage right now rolling. If I can, take this moment, I can put my team even further ahead, and you can see it there. Gets the chastise there onto the Spirit Bloom, and then they just completely delete the poor Moonkin out of this match.
I mean, they're definitely doing a lot more damage than the DH Moonkin, but I think Death Knight seems better.
We get to see Elsewave here on the Demon Hunter. Typically, we've seen them, with their sub rogue with Halton, but he has been on the bench. So Demon Hunter Windwalker coming out here, as well as the rogue Demon Hunter that we've seen successful in the previous series, and in addition to the sub rogue Windwalker that we've seen previously.
Look at the damage. I mean, yeah, 127,000 tick of Fist of Fury, 221,000 Rising Sun kick. So the numbers are going to look really jarring for Season 4, but health also went up a lot. So the players have significantly bigger health pools, but still, the damage that some of these classes are the output of some of these classes is really high. Going into Season 4, we have some new tiers. So some classes lost the tier lottery. For example, Destro Warlocks, I think they're going to fall off really hard. Their tier got significantly worse. But Windwalker monks, they were already pumping. Like Erados was already destroying people. We saw Hulabank play, the Windwalker Rogue, and their 4-set is literally like God status. It's super strong. After you use Fist of Fury, you get empowered Rising Sun kicks, and on my own monk, I've gotten like 350,000 Rising Sun kicks. So you'd be pretty spiky on that monk. And you definitely felt it on the side of Brute Beast. Like, they were never really stable in the match.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm starting to see some interesting things develop here. If you guys type exclamation gear in the chat, you guys can also see the AWC gear tool. And on that tool, you will see that a lot of these melees are running with this Derna's Chosen Ring. I think almost everyone is playing something that can proc fire damage. and playing with that ring. So it's pretty interesting to see. We saw it earlier on Waz on the Rogue, and now we're seeing it like on Aradas, for example.
Look at his staff, his polearm.
What's Aerodus playing with? Oh, the polearm can proc it?
I don't even know what that is.
Wait a second. Is that the only way we can proc it?
Ignite the Elder Flame. All right, let's see what it does. Ignite the Elder Flame to siphon the heat from nearby enemies, dealing fire damage to them and causing your melee abilities to unleash waves of ancient lava, dealing fire damage, split between all enemies trapped. So that I guess when you activate that, it's gonna make your ring proc more. Like it seems like there's a lot of synergy with some of these PvE items right now that these players are utilizing for their advantage.
Yeah, and I think that's a big reason why we're seeing the damage also go up a lot. You know, you can see Tygal as well.
His death was in 3 seconds from 100 or from 80.
As well.
90?
Windwalker and even things like
DH heal so much, 23 million damage, 6.5 million healing. My assumption is just they play a talent. They don't play Mortal Strike. They don't need to. They play a healing talent instead. So whenever they press blade dots, they absorb damage for a little bit.
Finding new creative ways to deal more damage.
That'd be interesting to see what the actual damage breakdown is for them and see how much damage these items.
We saw it actually in the previous matchup. The ring for Raikou accounted to I think it was 3.9%, so 4% damage on a demon hunter. But I guess it depends a little bit on the class. Yep.
And it doesn't. Yeah, it seems like at least when I look at the items, it doesn't seem like you're really losing anything to get it, right? It's just strictly extra damage that you're gaining. So really nice. We'll see how these teams continue to implement some of these items. I'm sure we'll get accustomed to them. I'm sure that someone's gonna figure out something crazy, and they'll be able to showcase it here. But yeah, so far Hula Bang, they're looking really good with their cleaves. I think them adding on the 4th Else Wave on Demon Hunter has been super good.
Just a repeat matchup there too.
And yeah, even watching the previous series, it was very interesting to see Raikou tagged in on the Demon Hunter and them actually run like a cleave between Raikou and Waz. That might be like a first. I can't remember the last time we've seen the two of them run a cleave together. Maybe like DK Demon Hunter or something like that at some point many years ago. But yeah, these double melee setups with the Holy Priest seem really strong. And I think a big reason for it is that Holy Priest can be Gnome, which is very effective into the balance tree. Like you get no value on the Root Solar Beam, which is a huge part of your kit to win games.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, it can be Orc Priest, you can be Gnome Priest, you can play Horde and Alliance on the same team. It's really gone a long way in terms of customizing your character and really optimizing the best races for whatever the matchup wants. But we're going to see game number 2 here, Brute Beast versus Hula Bang. We are going to Tolveron Arena here, and both teams are just going to be sticking with the exact same comp. I feel like Brute Beast, they had some good swaps, they had some decent pressure. It wasn't like a complete blowout, but I never felt like, okay, now Hula Bang needs to be really scared and see if they can try to get more pressure in this game number 2 here. It was already sitting through a big leg sweep there, but he was in bear form. Doesn't have to use his trinket there, only trading out the bark skin. So far a fair exchange, but he's still taking a lot of damage here. A lot of heals coming out there though from Kankito. And now finally Immuz does get topped and now looking to get aggressive on potentially Aradas.
See what they do. Kankito trying to immune some crowd control there with the time stop. I don't know if he got any value. Double stun coming in though. Aradas finally under a little pressure. He has the touch of karma. Might opt to just activate that immediately, but no, not worried whatsoever. Immuz once again just forced into bear form, kiting around. He is getting completely destroyed. But a good swap here onto JT. Maybe they can press the priest down just a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it.
Look at this DH
sitting on JT.
Moonkin is getting blasted.
JT should be able to easily handle that. Tyga's going to have to come back and try to get some pressure here onto Aradas and Elswave.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. Right now he's caught up in a stun behind the pillar, and he gets Ring of Peace even further back into a leg sweep, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to get too much work done. JT actually making a little bit of a mistake there. Goes for the Massive Spell on the Cyclone, gets Solar Beamed on cast there, and now he's got a little bit of catch up to do here. Taiga sitting through a full fear, nicely done there by JT. Should alleviate a lot of this pressure, and he's actually getting offensive right now, just spamming out some Holy Fires, doing a lot of extra damage here, helping his team get aggressive there on that Priest. Can Keto here with the nullifying shroud, looking for a sleepwalk. It looks like he wants to push in here, maybe look for some crowd control here onto JT. The Chaos Nova connects from Tyga,
JT in trouble.
actually going after JT, but with it, but JT still not out of the woods yet. There,
JT really doesn't die though. He's always been very, very composed on Priest.
JT's going down here. It's going to be Imbas actually taking a lot of damage, and at the same time, Kankito getting also super cleaved down there, forced to use his wall, forced to use rewind. Big cooldowns coming out here from Brute Beasts.
Yep, definitely. JT getting caught into a stun. Once again, these constant healer swaps seems threatening. Elswave drops the darkness to just try to mitigate some damage in that situation. He's got the metamorphosis available. Serenity has been used, but this is the Zwen, so a lot of pressure.
And kind of available.
To Amuse, but
just used it.
Like he's gonna just
he got swept.
Try to get aggressive. JT immediately goes into the Angel form just to power out heals, and they just cannot find pressure during these moments. Eridos getting caught into a stun though. Might have to trade out the touch of Karma. It looks like a full imprisonment here onto Kankito into a full fear. This is a really scary moment for Brute Beast. Might be a 2-0 here for Hulabang if they don't navigate this well. So far, Amuse doing exactly what he needs to. He's in bear form. He's kiting. He gets the bark skin at high health, and it seems like they will weather the storm.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to get aggressive here onto Elswave, actually. Elswave, no trinket available there for that exchange. Finally, seeing some signs of life here coming out from Brood Beast, but as I say that, immediately back onto Amuse here on the Windwalker. Eridas still taking a lot of damage, but he does have the Touch of Karma available, so he's not completely scared just yet. He has Trinket as well, so he can Trinket, stun, and activate that Karma. JT also getting pressured here. Actually, decent pressure so far from Brood Beast this last like 30 seconds or so. Just everyone taking a lot of damage on the side of Hulabang, just swapping around back and forth. Getting a lot of pressure here, but JT is able to keep everybody once again at full HP, and now once again it's going to be Eridas here looking for Imus, looking for the damage. Trinkets aggressively. Here comes the Serenity. Here comes the big damage. He gets cycloned.
It's really frustrating to look at like Windwalker against this stuff. Oh, they swapped Hila for a sec.
He can still connect with the last couple of seconds there onto Kankito, and he does manage to get him to at least use an Obsidian Scale, but Kankito still has his Trinket, so he's not really in any huge danger.
I mean, this Sustains was really good. They effectively always have Serenity now. If they Fist, they get Serenity. If they RSK, they get Serenity for the respective abilities.
The pressure on JT has been looking better and better, actually keeping him a little bit honest in the game. He's forced to actually line of sight. He's low on health. And this has been good so far. I really like this adaptation coming in from Brute Beast, but I don't know if they're going to be able to survive this. Kankito gets caught into an imprisonment once again, and there's just so many little CCs that he gets put into. He's getting put into stuns. He's getting put into fears, into paralyzed. Amuse, unfortunately, gets caught by that Ring of Peace and just cannot escape. It could easily fall. Rescue comes in from Kankito. At the same time, JT goes into Angel form as he is being pressured, but I think time may have run out for this Moonkin. Balancer just trying to survive. Kankito trades out the Emerald Communion in desperation and then make a swap on him. Might be able to just instantly KO him with the stun. Unbelievable. He's coming in with the Cyclone, trying to do what he can. Master Spell, though. JT frees him from that Cyclone and allows him to continue the pressure. This is absolutely insane, and I don't know how much longer Brute Beast is going to be able to keep this up.
Yeah, an insane amount of damage, but finally Immer's getting a precog here. Needs to make it count. He goes for a regrowth, goes for a Cyclone. Not going to be able to find it, get stunned there. Now finally does manage to alleviate some of
They're just running on mana too.
Nice bash there onto Elswave and a Cyclone onto Eridas. So Immer's really getting some work done here. Now they're swapping to JT, but look at Kankito. He's got no mana left here. Really nothing to work with. No Emerald Communion. They need to end this game right now. He goes for the deep breath. They're trying to close that out. Spirit Bloom connects. They get the Cyclone onto JT, but where is the damage?
I mean, the game's timed out.
Coming out there from Eridas. They need to survive this Karma and then get him low once again, but how are they going to be able to do it? The massive Karma dot is taking. There's the Chastise stun. There's Serenity. Huge damage in that leg sweep. Nice rescue coming out there from Kankito, and Taiga as well dropping quite low here, but this could be the miracle they need. Immus trying to kite, trying to stay alive.
They're all full HP.
Damage onto Eridas. Confused Magic comes in. Immus on 1% HP, almost in touch of death.
He's just spamming to stun, praying he gets mana back.
I don't think he's going to be able to survive. Taiga catches a full fear. There's the double Chaos Nova. They're swapping to Taiga, and Taiga will.
So interestingly, I would not say that Priest is better mana-wise than Prez though. You can see at the bottom, the Prez is just straight up doing more healing by like 60k HPS. Like 30% more. Like he's 30% mana, he did 30% more healing.
Unfortunately for the balance druid, he's just getting trained the entire game, having to.
What's the counter to Priest? Is it Rogue?
So much pressure on him. And they really are struggling to find counter pressure.
I mean, they're
so,
actually Priest is really
I
Holy
don't
Priest is
know.
really good at
Priest is
dealing
gonna
with
have to make some
control.
sort of
Like they don't
adaptation
get
because
CC'd super
so far,
well.
Hulabang is looking good.
So
and
it's
I
really
thought,
hard to
in
say.
my mind, what Brute Beast is running should be pretty decent into this, but they are just really struggling to take anyone down.
The crazy part is
I feel like
Eridus really
Priest had a
didn't get
really
any
good game here.
value from
There
his
was a lot of
serenities.
pressure,
I haven't
in
seen him have a
general. They
clean
were
serenity
joking
yet.
around, They were forcing cooldowns.
He's
But
always
this team looked
controlled on
much
them,
better
which
than
I guess what
anyone
everyone does, right? You save
with
instance
that
CC for a
said,
serenity.
I feel like the Holy Priest just
You save 2
outvalued
instance
the
CCs and the thing doesn't get any value.
in this matchup
He's just
here.
doing his
And I think the
sustain,
big
and he's
reason for that is
sustaining.
damage.
Well,
Again,
obviously not
look
126k.
at
Obviously, it's not
Tygo's,
correct.
damage,
It looks
and
he's
then look
sustaining
at
about
Elswave's damage.
90,000 DPS,
It's
and
such a
Elswave is
huge
actually sustaining
difference.
125k
And,
DPS.
I think that's where
But
a
is
lot
there
of
a
the-
counter to it?
the
Not
extra
really.
healing
Not
that
this
the two
patch.
comes out. I mean, look at Kankitos.
You're forced to deal with it.
The guy's literally healing, like,
But the cleave's looking good
There's so
so
much,
far. This actually does look like a
250
cleavey season.
for a long game as well. It's
Like these are the traditional comps you're seeing. You're seeing Rogue Moonkin, you're seeing DH Moonkin in the first 2 matchups, and those are very very meta comps, and they're losing to these kind of niche cleaves. Now the question is, from my point of view,
I think he has
like
a
I
little
want to
bit more of a
know.
difficult job here. He has to go
I know what Echo lost to, right? I know Echo lost to Windwalker Outlaw, but what did Hulabang lose to?
It's a lot of swap.
That's
potential
the
in that window.
that's my
I
question.
almost feel like in this composition, you kind of need the outlaw.
I want to see the
Obviously,
open bracket,
Moonkin Preservoker is really strong, but I
which
feel
has
like in
ads.
this particular matchup, you'd rather have an outlaw rogue actually kind of
So where is Hulabang lost to Stream Zone GG? We're gonna see them play pretty soon.
more control of the game. It seems like
Oh, okay. That's they lost to
It feels like
Thug Cleave.
it just becomes about
No, wait, did they? What are they playing? Tony's not playing Thug. What did they lose to?
I don't think that's how they win.
What are they playing? What is Tony playing this season?
Head to head, when you have
Previously, they're playing Jungle. Are they playing Jungle again?
that have a free punching bag, on the Moonkin. Like the Moonkin's gonna be forced to spend a lot of
I
time
guess
in the
we'll
game
see.
in bear form, and he's not gonna be able to keep up with the melees. I think in that last game, Imus, he did actually a lot of damage, but compared to Eridus, compared to Elswave, it's still it's not enough. So I would have to agree with you. I think that with the Rogue, the nice thing is that you can go for those bursts, right? So the win condition isn't only your overall damage winning on mana. You have just a lot more potential to set up. You have a lot more potential to set up a drink. Have a lot more potential to kind of catch people in bad positions and take him out. So, and also just help your Moonkin get casts off, like free up time for him. Like when people are stunned, you can actually cast. So definitely agree with you, but the question is, do they have it, the Outlaw Rogue, or is this just their best options? Because they
This
are a
comp would have
three-man
gapped the
team,
Outlaw
so
harder, I
don't
think. So
we're
I'm
gonna
not
be
sure.
seeing a
Outlaw
lot
doesn't
of,
scale like he used to. So previously,
flexibility here.
if you played this matchup, Hulabang's matchup, Windwalker DH, into Outlaw Moonkin,
tough.
the Outlaw would do top damage.
Tough.
The Outlaw would literally outcleave both melee because they're just cleaving the whole game. But that doesn't happen anymore for some reason. We don't even understand why. But this patch, Outlaw doesn't seem to scale in a way that they actually can outscale these melee. Now the melee outcleave them. Not that DH Outlaw isn't, not that Outlaw Moonkin isn't crazy strong, but it isn't crazy strong on that same level.
See more of that today, and if we see that in North America, because those kind of compositions don't.
However,
seem as
the
popular
Priz
in
gain
North
that
American
damage.
region right now. So
I guess.
I wonder if teams are going to start kind of adapting to
Oh, they're
that,
doing it.
or what? And we do. All right. Is he an outlaw god? What do you think?
That is the question.
Yeah.
That is the question for Tygold right now. Are you an outlaw god? Because you're gonna need to be. Hulabang, definitely a team that is.
I never can see.
Very scary to go up against. But this is what I like when you're in Brute Beast position, right? You're coming in here. You're a 3-man roster. Maybe you didn't even expect to make a top 8, and you have, which in of itself is great.
How do you?
For them? May as well lock it in. You already lost with your main comp twice. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to fear. Full send it. I like it. It shows confidence. If it works, that's a completely different story, though.
This guy has no armor you can search. What's Tygo's,
the Yellow Rose going to bring a lot more control
what's
to
his
the match, so getting
character
lots
on
of cheap
ladder?
shots and
I
kidney
want to see if I can
shots.
find his
That just
Outlaw
allows
experience
him
or
to
his
get follow
Rogue
up with
experience.
Cyclones. And once that happens, once you're getting stun locked into Cyclones and they're able to swap around a lot, I think it becomes a lot more difficult for JT. and it just overall becomes a lot more of a stable match. But I'm maybe worried that they might just make a lot of swaps on the rogue. Like the outlaw rogue, it does have a lot more control than the demon hunter, but in terms of raw pressure, it's less. So more crowd control, less overall damage. It's really just going to, the success of their team is going to come down to how much more damage Kankito's going to be able to do, and also how many more cyclones we're going to potentially see here from Amuse.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, we've seen Liquid run this comp with great success in North America, but we also talked a lot about Sam's precog buff uptime, and that's what Imus is going to need to do here. He's going to need to channel his inner Sam I am.
It's very true. These teams aren't going to be playing as much as Sam is.
He can do it right now. Big opener coming out here onto both, actually. Eradas taking a lot of damage, activating the diffuse magic, and now it's going to be Imus on the back foot, already using his trinket, already using his barkskin, already using thorns here, really just trying to go head-to-head here. And they're actually swapping to JT. Nice grapple weapon there, though, onto Tygol there. He's not going to get a whole lot of work done there, but still JT, I almost called him JZ. JZ's going to be wrapping around the corner here. He's got 99 problems, but his team's HP is not one.
And not so far. It's looking pretty stable for him. Erados making another swap here on Amuse, just kind of treading him down. I-beam comes in. Where is the pressure? Amuse might just outright die. Chaos Nova comes in on Kankito.
Nah, so past self procs there, and it's just doing the most fucked up healing.
He trinkets out of that, but now a full cyclone.
Apparently, you can kind of see what I'm saying there, right? If you guys can see damage at the bottom on the screen, right here.
That's what I think.
This is your Outlaw damage, and it is just substantially lower than the other two.
Feeling the pressure, but now a nice batch coming out here onto Erados. No trinket available, no diffuse magic available, which is a big cooldown here into the castle. But here comes the leg sweep. Tygol is stacked up for it. Erados really peeling with that one more than anything else. And Imus actually does have the precog right now. Could go for maybe a cyclone. There's a cheap shot onto JT. They're going to swap with the solar beam onto JT.
I think Ryan would be doing Erados style damage, I think, but
on the Windwalker, Erados though in a cyclone, but it is
the big thing is they aren't able to get tons of clones. This comp is not very disruptive. It should get spam cloned. Depends on how many precogs you can get.
Decide against it. Instead, it's just going to be big pressure coming out here onto Imus, and that is going to be the touch of karma here coming out for Erados as well. Still
does have to bear a lot.
Though, so Erados not feeling too threatened in this exchange, and he was able to get a lot of damage out there with that Serenity. So if the game drags on, this could definitely be one of those games that come down to the mana bar of Kankito.
Erados right now caught into a bash. A beautiful fear there by JT, completely slowing down the offense of Brute Beast, and now they can just reverse the pressure onto the Balance Druid once again. Kankito down to about 50% mana, so Hula Bang has a massive mana lead, which is not what you want. Pressure looking good, mana looking good, double stun coming in, Kankito getting cleaved down, and they might just
in general, Mookin doesn't like being cleaved.
Rescue here from Kankito, keeps him alive, but they got a lot of work to catch up. Finally, they're going to get topped off, but that's an Obsidian Scales, that's the trinket, and Kankito is just running out of answers.
Yeah, definitely. Imus right now tanking a kick. Might be forced back into bear form. He's trying to stay outside of bear form, trying to go toe-to-toe here with this Windwalker, but Erados
is tomorrow.
Fuse in his back pocket. Elsewave still with the full cooldowns here as well. He's got the Nether Walk. They're not feeling scared right now. They're pushing in. They're trying to get aggressive onto Imus. JT was sitting through a Cyclone, but now Kankito in a fell eruption stun right there, but it's going to be Elsewave actually taking a lot of damage there, and Tygol.
It looks bad. I mean, he's actually vulnerable. He's got Nether. He doesn't choose to use it. He trinkets the clone instantly.
Trinkets out of the Cyclone. Looks to get
it's on Serenity though.
Erados pushing for the win here. They get a full fear there onto Kankito. No follow-up CC there though. JT now caught up in a blind. It looked like the blind actually broke.
I would say the Moonkin Rogue is actually ahead here by a good amount.
It's going to be more pressure here back onto Imus, but again, this is a really close match.
I mean, mana-wise, they're having issues again.
Yeah, definitely not.
Kankito's going to do even more HPS. JT's having to do more though too.
Stun into a cyclone, and now all of a sudden Elsewave is feeling the pressure. He's got Netherwalk, but it seems like he's just going to hold on. JT almost has the Guardian Spirit available for some big heals.
They're having way more control. This looks much more similar.
Really going to struggle.
The only question is mana, I think.
He can actually land some heals. He gets gouged. Great job there by Tygla.
Small one? No, never mind.
Really difficult for Hula Bang, but they're just continuing this assault. They do not care. Continuing to push the pace here on this Balance Druid, but you can see now Cyclones are landing, and the game's getting a little bit more comfortable for Brute Beast.
Yeah, they are.
I will say, I haven't seen Kankito really use any of his time stops.
To increase here for them as well. But at the same time, Immers need to be careful there. Drops quite
I feel
low.
like time swapping Essence Break is kind of free.
Eridas now going for a leg sweep swap here onto Tygal. Are they ready? Huge damage!
Wow.
And he is going to go down. His cheat death, I don't think his cheat death works.
That's a
there.
3-0.
Cheat death can be a little bit
Tomorrow
tricky
starts
like
at
that.
11, so it starts
If it procs,
the same time as EU started today,
it's actually a lot of
but it
fun.
starts tomorrow for NA.
Let's say you're 10% HP.
It's a 3-0, but I don't know. They aren't playing it the way that I think we would play it. I think they played it well, but I think that they would have like they'd have to face there would be more interesting moments, I think.
To die through cheat death like that, but at the same time, you gotta say Hooly Bang. They found a nice window there to swap up.
Well, Kinkido's doing a lot of damage still. Like 8.5 mil.
From JT as well. To make sure that the rogue was stunned.
The crazy part about that, I think, is that Moonkin Rogue would have virtually no pressure without that Prez in that case, right?
Really nice.
The Prez doing
Bang is such a
8.73
threat.
million, and they're
What
still
makes this
having to do
combination,
less healing
these classes
by a
so
lot.
deadly is Aglet the entire game is not being pressured. Like they're getting a little bit of cleave damage, so he's trading out his evasions every once in a while, maybe making it easier for Kankido. He's still feeling
Sunny
pretty
with a
healthy.
gifted
He's got
sub. That is
some
my
depth,
second sub
but
today. Thank you very
he
much,
makes
Sunny
you
buddy.
swap
Happy Friday, man.
Delete you in a single leg sweep. You can see his health gets so incredibly low, and cheat death procs right there.
All right, guys, I'm
At
gonna be
like
right back
2%
while we're
health,
waiting for
like
this
you
next
mentioned,
matchup.
and they're able to just take him down through it.
Give me
Kankido really
a
didn't
couple
have a
minutes
chance.
really quick.
I think he had
Thanks
the
for watching.
time stop.
I might actually be around for a while today because
Possible
we've got
that
war
he
games
just
tonight, I think.
stopped him.
So I'm gonna try and
He is
stick around
running
until
it,
the war
so,
games. But give me 1 sec. Thanks for watching.
I wonder if he was in crowd control there at the end, because I'm gonna be honest, that talent I feel like didn't really get much value in these games. There's never a moment in the match where I was like, okay, that was a really nice time stop where he slows down the game and it actually made sense for him to run it. But let's see here again, because I do think that would have been like a pretty solid answer for that leg sweep if he just made him immune to all damage. It doesn't take you out of the stun because it does like freeze time and debuffs, but yeah, right now it would have been like an amazing time stop. But yeah, they just didn't get it off, and unfortunately, he gets taken down.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, but still, it was a pretty well fought series. I feel like if they maybe started with this composition, it would have maybe been a different series here. But for now, it is going to be Hooly Bang taking it with a clean 3-0, and we're going to see the damage log right there. I mean, look at that, the absolute classic 1% cheat death proc, instantly dead, right through it. From divine image to next like millisecond. That's an absolute classic if you're a rogue. I think every rogue has at some point experienced that, but that set bonus doing some work there for Eridas as well. Huge rising sun kicks coming out.
Most definitely. Here is a look at the lower bracket and the upper bracket, but we can see that game that we just finished off there down at the bottom. Hooly Bang 3-0 versus Brute Beast. They are unfortunately knocked out of the tournament. Now they're going to be moving on here. Hooly Bang to try and battle it out here. They may have a chance to face off against Echo, which I personally really hope that we do get to see that game. That would be exciting for sure. But Brute Beast, we kind of talked about it moving into that match a little bit. Supatees, or Ven, this is who's on the desk with me right now. I keep messing this up today. You guys
I'm here.
You add one more caster to the mix and I lose my mind. All right, well, Ven, Brute Beasts, this is a newly formed roster. Obviously, they unfortunately did lose 0-3. Do you feel like this is a team that could come back next week and maybe do a little bit better here and perhaps get a couple games off?
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible. I mean, Hooly Bang is a really difficult opponent. I don't know who actually sent them down to the lower bracket, but they've got the compositions. I mean, it seems like they're a really solid team, really solid players. They've got good compositions, so I would not be surprised if we see them in the top 8 once again next week. And maybe if they clean it up just a little bit, potentially bring on a 4th, then they could have a little bit of a deeper run. But Hooly Bang is a really tough team.
Yeah, they certainly are, and Hooly Bang certainly did prove why they did just make such a tremendous impact the first time we saw them come onto the AWC scene. So 3-0 finishing off there, and we are going to head to the upper bracket now after this break. Before we do head to a break, however, we're going to do yet another map guessing segment. I think chat didn't do so well. I just certainly messed it up last time. Maybe I can do a little bit better now as we head into this next one. This is, of course, powered by Warcraft Logs. Let us know in chat what map you think this is.
All right, let's see here. All right, what do we got?
Empyrean Domain, lock it in.
You snap before you lock that in? How
He did
confident you
snap.
are? You hit a little Imperial Domain. Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think it's ruins. Or hook point. I don't know. This one is tough.
All right.
I'm going hook point.
Ruins.
Yeah, I think it's hook
Or-
point.
oh wait, that's not even on there. I was stealing your answer.
You can't just say you think it's everything. You go, I think it's Empyrean. I think it's hook point. I
Hey,
think it's
locked
Tigers.
it
I
in.
think it's
I
ruins.
snapped.
Yeah,
I snapped.
He hit the.
Yeah,
he
you
hit
did snap,
the
but you also
buzzer
guessed.
with the
You actually
snap.
guessed
the
every
buzzer.
single one of them.
No, I snapped. I made my prediction. No matter what, that's my prediction. And then I said, nah, actually, it looks like this. I mean, it's obvious. Like, look at the pillars. You can see 2 pillars. That's easy
I
hook
know.
point.
That's why I picked in hook point.
Yeah, but like, if you lock it in at the last 5 seconds, like, how would you
Yo,
sleep at night? You know?
Diego,
Would
how do you
really
sleep at
at
night
knowing
guessing
you-
every single answer? Like, you can't just
I
claim
didn't
every
guess
answer.
single answer.
You did. You said it's Empyrean Domain.
I
No,
have
it's
no
Tiger's Peak. I
comment
think
on
it's
this.
Ruins. I think it's hook point. We need an instant replay.
Listen, I locked in Empyrean Domain. What I say
Okay.
beyond that is just yapping.
Anything
be
said
honest,
after
like-
the snap is irrelevant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if we're all?
That's off the record.
This is definitely hook point. There's no way that we're wrong,
We'll
right?
see. Imagine. Oh, love it. Let's go.
go.
I'm very proud of myself that I got this one.
I'm proud of you too,
Whatever,
Vin.
man.
That was really good. Whoa.
That's the game. You can't just lock it in right away. You gotta you get a little evidence.
You gotta lock it in right away, dude.
I wonder if the chat got it.
We need buzzers.
We do. Let's put aside some budget for that, please. Production. Okay, our producer just chimed in and said he'll see what he can do. So, buzzers are coming. Hopefully we'll have them by the next round. But let us know in chat if you got that correctly, alongside Venruki here with hook point. But thank you so much to.
You take it so serious. It's like
this is very serious. This is very serious. And if chat, if you're not taking that serious either, I question your judgment. But powered by Warcraft Logs, you can level up your gameplay by visiting archon.gg/wow. And over there, you can find the most popular builds, optimize your gear, and of course, learn the meta and even more. So definitely go check that out. And also shout out to Warcraft Yachts for helping us put this together. Now, with that, we will be, like I said, heading into the upper bracket now. Got some big games up there as well. It's Lava Lava facing off against Bikini Bottom Mafia after this break. Welcome back, everyone. We are now here in the upper bracket. We saw 2 teams get knocked out already, and we're done with that for just a little bit. We're here in the upper. Like I said, we've got 2 teams facing off against each other. Lava Lava, who we have seen play many times before, Lithi, versus Bikini Bottom Mafia, which are a bit of a newer team here for AWC.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I mean, honestly, since becoming a famous streamer, I'm not quite sure, but Ven's skin has been looking extra clear, like his beard is full, generally just looking a little bit more muscular, and with that, he is looking almost as good as Bikini Bottom Mafia has been in the open bracket this week, and watching them come in, it's gonna be an absolute blaster of a match, and Lava Lava, man, they better heat up, because this is gonna get spicy.
Lava right now, bringing in Guz on the Elemental Shaman. I haven't seen too many Elemental Shamans so far, but this has been one of their pocket picks. And really, Dex on the Restoration Druid, kind of just locking it in. We haven't seen many Restoration Druids, but it seems like he is very loyal to the spec, and we'll see if it works out for them here in this game number 1.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, I hope they were watching WWF versus Echo, because that didn't look too good for the Ellie Shaman. Just not enough stopping power, while the damage were almost even compared to the Outlaw Rogue on the other side, right? But it's really all about these 2 Demon Hunters, and so far, Tsuneki just popping off insanely hard compared to Coffee at the start of the game here. But we'll just keep an eye on things, as I think big eyes are on Nala here on the Outlaw Rogue, and of course Boruk, who has been around for years and years and years. And maybe this weekend, upper bracket top 8, top 6 rather already, this could be a moment for the Bikini Bottom Mafia to really step into the limelight and get some time in the sun then.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, they've already pulled off such an impressive victory over Echo. They're the reason why they are in that lower bracket. Let's see if they can do it again here against Lava Lava, which is one of the best teams in Season 3. So let's see what they can do. Good pressure so far. Barig has a massive mana lead. Things are looking good. Guz might just outright go down. He is forced to burrow, and he's going to immediately get out of that, keep the damage here on Nala, but a gouge into Chaos over onto Dex. He is really falling behind on healing. But with the proper trades, the Astral Shift, it looks like Guz will be able to hold on, but there is 0 defensive cooldowns left. The Smoke Bomb drops down. Dex, can he get there? As well as the Darkness. A lot of defensive cooldowns. That was a great push, but Lava Lava weathers the storm.
Beautiful. It is beautiful. So many defensives that Bikini Bottom Mafia is getting out of Lava Lava in this situation. And Coffee, the next target, once again dropping down to 20%. And the Resto Druid really struggling in this matchup a little bit. Compared to the Holy Priest, you're just not as equipped to deal with this whack-a-mole heals damage profile that's coming in. But Coffee still not outdone. Is looking for the engage here. They find Borok open in the field, at least for a moment. He's going to pull back the Phalanxes. Not going to do too much in this situation. But all in all, it's really all about the damage, and in terms of mana at least, Dex is looking spicy on the Druid, just hopping over open field, trying to get to the other pillar on the other side, and Nala is the big target. No defensives left. Now the Vanish immediately pops that, looking for a little bit of damage, and Dex is the target. Cheap shot it up, down to a half, but will be able to heal through. Not even the Iron Buck invested here.
Yeah, and mana really isn't looking too bad here, so potentially Lava Lava's going to be able to do it. Coffee right now in a little bit of danger. Looks like he will get topped off. Big heals coming in from Dex and that Incarnation Tree of Life, going for Cyclones as well. Unable to find it, but just continuing to bomb out the heals, get in position to maybe go for some crowd control here on a Barug, maybe even go down for a drink.
Sorry.
So
What do we miss?
Potential. This is the Innervate, and they do crowd control.
This is another DH
not
Rogue?
really able to get advantage of those free heals. Really just pressuring down Dex and keeping him honest, making sure he has heal
What
over
the
time effects on all
fuck?
3 members.
What is
He's
going
not feeling
on?
too comfortable in the match.
Yeah, comfort is a big thing, and Dex on the Druid so far definitely comfortable, but is his team really winning? That's the big question.
This is
Guz
upper
has
bracket.
no Trinket, has a Spirit Shell, Astral Shift, and a Burrow, of course, available. On the other side, Borok sitting comfortable on both Swap and GS, while Nala just burned the evasion. And with that, might be a good target here. The Rogue down to half already. Even though it's Outlaw, it's not a free.
So again, we're in that
pass and
similar.
just living through the entire thing. On the other side, Lava is rotting down across the entire team. Guz has to burrow while Dex is sitting in a full CC chain. Gouge into the blind. Might this be the setup that they needed?
Guz is dying.
Netherwalk falls.
Guz is dying.
No defensive. There's the cheat shot. Full
Coffee
on
dying.
steam ahead. Looking
Coffee's
for
health
the
going
finisher.
down.
Coffee out of the Netherwalk as well. Dex finally gets the broccoli popped off and heals them
This
up.
is Druid
Stabilizing for the moment.
instead
but
of
then
Holy Priest,
they
or
black
instead of Prez
dry
variant.
on everything there.
Oh, it's a big drink.
Dex sitting down for a
It's a
drink,
big
though.
drink.
If he can recover some mana, it's going to be
No.
big. Suniki immediately shuts
Very
that
small,
down.
but
I wonder
they're
if he's
look.
able to
They're
recover
actually
any
hit on mana by a little bit, and that
5%.
is.
So putting
I don't know if it's a
Lava in
proc
really good
tree or not. I
position.
feel like it's
Barug
actually
is
a real
falling
tree.
behind. Nala's getting low. Suniki's
Real
getting
tree is
low.
big efficiency
Barug's
here. They
completely
actually may
tapped
win
out
on mana.
But we'll see. Dampening's getting higher. The Restoration Druid's going to struggle to heal. He gets stunned on his trinket. Guz might just outright fall. An absolute nightmare. Beautiful
Dex has
static
got
field type
real.
coming in from
Nah.
Guz to just slow down the
Dex
damage of Nala's
is
smoke
basically
bomb. Guz is
impossible
going
to die at this
immediately
point
get out of that with that
until
Ghost
after
Wolf.
tree
Really good
falls.
use of
Once
his
tree falls,
mobility
they can
to
lose.
free himself up, and I think Nala could easily fall full imprisonment here on a Barug, and Nala
It's Coffee
could
that'll die, not
instantly
Guz,
die.
by the
We'll
way.
have to see if he can hold
I
on.
think.
Looks like Barug
It's Coffee
finally
that
has
should
some
die.
heals connected. He gets out of the crowd control. Now Coffee getting swapped to with no trinket.
It's his
Darkness
dog.
drops down. This is just so back and forth in game
So
number one.
they should win by going Guz
close
and
now,
then use
Barug.
everything
They've
on Coffee
been
next
there,
go.
they've been there before
Coffee
the top
dies next
eight.
go
They just
100%
really
of the
wanna
time.
go
They have
further
nothing. You
than
can
the first
see
round for once, and
there's
so
nothing here. They
far,
got 5
they're
seconds to
looking
do
be
it,
on good pace,
but they
especially
have
against a team
nothing.
like Lava that has been coming off
You can
of the
see they
ladder
have
as the
no way to say. There's
one
full
of the
kidney on
favorite
Coffee.
teams this season is Tsuneki. Now their target,
Surely.
they're trying to retain that
Really?
place up top in the top 3. They want to progress
procced a
further,
tree
and maybe
at
with
a
the
really good
rope taken
time.
down, they could be getting there.
Evasion
Nala
available on
down to
Nala, so
20%,
Nala won't
Barug
die.
just
He
trying
uses it
to
right
do
now.
anything with no mana left in the tank, but on
Sunuki's
the
got
other side,
trinket now
Dex
that he won't die.
similarly struggling
It's only
without
mana
the
as a
blue
one condition,
bar,
but
20
Dex is
seconds on
owned
the innovate.
too.
That could be the lifesaver, the game changer they need. Evasion once again pop, but Nala has it run out. It's done. It's dusted. It's
Oh.
over. As Bikini Bottom Mafia are welcome to the AWC with a hard punch to the chin.
Yeah, Lava really showcasing their skills in this one.
Hmm.
A lot of damage. I mean,
Druid
as the
looked good.
Elemental Shaman does, it's really difficult. I
Shock
talked about it
Druid
in the
might be
last
good
series,
to
when you're
cleave.
that solo caster and you're
As
going up
well.
against, these double agility melee. It can be really difficult to find that counter pressure. They have a lot of lockdown.
Could they have
for you,
looked
but
more at
I
Druid,
think
though?
he
Did they go
navigated the
Druid at all?
situation really well. And
Because this
overall,
Outlaw
Lava played
team
this
is
one out,
ridiculously good at
beautifully,
just go. Oh, they
going
did.
the
I mean, he's half
distance,
health
getting
there.
Barug, out of mana, and eventually taking down the Outlaw Rogue.
Yeah, I do
It's like
agree
a-
with
yeah,
you. Beautifully,
pretty similar, I
generally, yes,
assume.
clean, not really. Some
Grand.
very spicy situations, and I'm starting to wonder if it is the rest of Druid to an extent. Dex is playing an
Short-
insanely fantastic.
He's playing
game
short
on
darkness.
This, on this orange
Shattered
class,
Destiny.
but
He's playing Raku's build.
isn't
Yeah, he's
it
playing
really
Raku's
a
build.
harsh disadvantage compared to the Holy Priest here, Ben?
It's tough to say. Like, this is the first tournament. Like, this is the first. Like, that's what I think a lot of players think. A lot of players think that, like, the Preservation Evoker and the Holy Priest, those are like the top tier meta classes right now. But we saw it in the open bracket with even the move. Absurge playing Resto Shaman. A lot of people aren't playing Resto Shaman, but he's winning series as a Restoration Shaman. So I wouldn't say that we fully know everything. And I think sometimes players over exaggerate how good specific classes are or how bad specific classes are. And it's good to see Dex, bring in the Resto Druid and Guz on the Elemental Shaman, pulling off a big win, because Ellie Shaman is another one that a lot of players aren't talking about, but it could be with full gear that these classes are very strong still.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the interesting things to watch for this weekend, what people bring in terms of comps, in terms of classes. And I very much agree with you, Ben. There's, I think, a lot we don't know, especially considering we're so early into the season. Usually the players have a little bit more time to really investigate and figure things out and understand the meta. And this time around, this tournament is going to kind of ask a little bit more in terms of adaptability, in terms of skill to read the meta, to find out what's good and be ready and prepared for the things that they can throw at people, the curveballs, and of course, what they get thrown at themselves. And overall, solid start here so far in the upper bracket, and I really have no idea where this entire series must be going, because one of the big things for me is that Bikini Bottom Mafia was also playing the Rogue Windwalker in the open bracket. So I would love to see them bring that in, because I do think the Elemental Shaman would struggle even harder against that.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. I'm kind of curious to see what Tsuneki was running. Okay, he wasn't playing Cleanse by Flame or anything like that. He wasn't removing the Flame Shock off of himself, which can really mitigate some of the damage the Elemental Shaman can do. But yeah, Bikini Bottom Mafia, I'm really curious to see if they do mix it up. They do bring in the Windwalker. I think Windwalker right now is really strong. Obviously, we just saw Hula Bang play the Windwalker Demon Hunter and have great success. So let's see what they decide to do. It looks like they're going to lock in the exact same composition. It was a close game, like you said, for Lava Lava. It wasn't cut and dry. Like there was a lot of close calls, scary situations, moments where Dex, had to panic, trinket, and keep everyone up when they're all 20% health, and he was almost out of mana as well. So scary, and I think on the smaller map, there's going to be very limited opportunities for Dex to actually drink, but we'll have to wait and see. I feel like if Lava Lava wins this one, I'll be very impressed.
Yeah, same. Hook point is going to be a lot harder. And I think something that you need to consider in this matchup a little bit as well is the fact that, while Bikini Bottom Mafia is a very, very new team, basically just recently formed to this new season of the AWC, but the players themselves, they have been around for a while. For example, Borok and Suneke, I think it was, together, have been competing for the better part of 5 or 6 years and made AWC top 8 in the past before. Never gotten really far into the weekend broadcast, but I think this just competitive experience might give them an edge compared to a team like Lava Lava that's, as far as I'm aware, very new to competing.
They did have a stellar performance last season. I think they kind of came out of nowhere, at least for me. Like some of the compositions that they were running, like the Demon Hunter Arms Warrior, Dex on the Druid, the Demon Hunter Ellie. They've been really, really consistent, and they're proving that still. I mean, in this first cup for season 4, or cup number 4, I guess, cup number 3, they're still having a great performance. They're in the upper bracket. They're up 1-0. This team has been really consistent in my eyes. So we'll see how far they can go once again in this cup, because they can have a deep run. It's going to be massive for their team.
Absolutely. There's
this is 20,
points on the line
runs
this
in
weekend as well, and especially for Lava Lava, it might be important to grab something. And as we're heading into Hook Point, 20 seconds
nah,
in,
the ring isn't giving them
absorb.
It's very small.
Roll in with massive damage. And who
the ring is just a little higher eye level, so it's a little more health.
Block, or the team that sent Echo to the lower bracket on Wednesday? Well, Bikini Bottom Mafia is looking for some damage, and Baruch,
wait, this team beat Echo
in the open field, looking for CC onto Dex. Beautiful chastise into the fear. Dex is sitting on that one, and Coffee struggling down to 20%. Blur burned, and the heals are coming in finally.
Coffee making a swap here on a Barug, keeping him honest, trying to poke off his heals as well. So one of the things, a lot of the I'll table that conversation for now. Dex is forced to trade out Trinket and Barkskin and his
stream qualifies.
So
we did.
Literally has nothing left. He's falling
it's
behind.
a short day though.
Coffee struggling.
Not many games this time.
And a potential full fear, but Guz, no tremor available. It's going to be a full blind. Dex's hots are falling off, and if they make another clean setup here on a Dex, I think he could fall really quick.
Yeah, they definitely are able to force a Darkness and Netherwalk at some point soon.
Oh, this could be it.
Burrow, and the swap onto Dex.
This is what we expected, by the way.
He has nothing, no trinket.
The more they do Dex, the worse his mana is going to be. And they just have off-target swaps too. It should be their target choice here, probably. Keep Coffee honest, keep his trinket on cooldown, and go Dex. And they just do big goes on anything else. So basically every 30 seconds you'll see them do other things. They'll bounce every 30. I would be back on Guz now, though, I think. I'd be back on Guz, then move back across.
Let off any pressure anytime soon here.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I was mentioning these healer swaps are so important. A lot of the healers and a lot of the players this season are running the double Zen focus for just an incredible amount of mastery. So if you were actually going after the healer and keeping him under 90%,
yeah, Warrior could be okay.
2,000 mastery.
I don't know. Warrior isn't as good into DH and Alarog though. They're just both superior melee, I think.
So I think that's why we're seeing these consistent healer swaps. Not only is it good to keep the Druid honest, but
I mean, you win on mana by doing it. By continually, you keep every target involved, and you're doing goes.
You can remove that. You're really mitigating a lot of.
But yeah, going healer now. They literally this season, you have Vim basically. You have about 10% or 20% throughput with double mastery embellish. So it's a big swap. It's a very good meta swap. He could die. He could die through this. Druid's throughput is really fucking good.
I don't hear here, Ven, but Dex is under fire. Nala, the next one, stunned up. Borok, half HP, gets bashed up. Great cross
Clan.
going on. Lava on
Nala in
the push
trouble.
forward. There's the evasion coming in. Nala struggling, 20%. It is getting down to the wire. Ghost and him coming through. Borok trying to
This is really
stabilize,
bad for
able to do
Method
that
or
just
for
a
Echo, I
moment.
think.
Hunt going in. Suneki is
They
looking for the
want
second Dex.
to
Now
they
the
want
covering
points, which means they
back
want
up
Bikini
available
Bottom
versus
Mafia to do
their
well.
form before the
To
go.
have a lead
Really
over
nicely
Lava
dodging
Lava.
that as the
They want to
innovators
force a
coming
situation where they can
through,
qualify
and
this week.
he's going to be able to top everyone off
Or
before
get
the
close to
second
qualifying this week.
shot is gonna roll
'Cause they're
in
all tied.
down to half as Bikini Bottom is just trying to dial up the pressure. Nala, though, the counter target once again and is struggling to stay alive. Borok in a nice CC chain, going to be CC'd up and waiting for his time to heal Nala back. Cloak is back out available,
it's a
and now
big
Dex is
swap.
the big target. Beautiful grip there. The bear
Coffee!
form saving his life, but Coffee gets swapped to take into the cleaners. What a game here.
DHL seems good
Yeah, I mean,
still.
that was
It's
just
crazy that
incredible.
like
Bikini Bottom Mafia,
it's crazy
I
how
think
the
these
meta
constant
shifted.
swaps is going after the rest
they
of the
kind of just took
Lava
out.
Lava.
They took out.
There's
I
so
suppose
many
a little bit.
opportunities. I do wonder if this was a map thing or
Do you have a solo
this is
shuffle
something
healer
that
class
they're gonna
recommendation
repeat on a bigger map.
for returning
Definitely
player
seemed
looking to
like
get in
a really
PvP?
effective strategy and
Not
ultimately got them the win.
Really? I mean, if you like, so you're looking to heal, right? I'd play what you're comfortable with. Every healer works.
Man.
I think
all over
you're
the
better
place here.
off
Hook point,
just
but then
focusing
you
on
were
a
right to
healer that
call
you
it.
personally
It
like,
is
because I've seen
a
all
solid
of them
performance
can
from
succeed.
BDM just taking the win.
The
Great
hardest
spots, and I
ones
think
succeed with
a
probably is
lot of it
Cast and
really was
Misweaver.
just this
Exactly.
moment at the start.
Exactly what
They
Prov said.
overwhelmed Dex like crazy. I mean, they
Everything
got
everything can have
from
good
Box
lobbies. Even
to
Holy Paladin.
Trank
Holy
to
Paladin's like
Trinket.
not the
And after that,
greatest healer,
I
but it
think
does
the
okay.
card
And it has
house
some
just
very fun lobbies where you
caved in
can
on
make your
itself, and they were
like
never
bops
able
and
to
stuff have a
recover
big
from the
impact.
pacing there.
H+2
All
comps.
right, good. Sorry,
I
having a
think
little bit of audio problems, but I
below
think we're good to go now.
2400, there's a good number of Melee Cleave
Yeah,
lobbies without
doing-
Red Paladins in
doing
them,
really good
Hamsty, right?
swaps there from Bikini
And I
Bottom
think in
Mafia.
those lobbies,
You
Red can
see here
feel,
in the final moments,
Holy
Dex
Paladin
gets
can feel
stunned,
really
he's
oppressive
stunned,
too.
He's forced to trade out his trinket.
Yeah, we're talking
still
about shuffle.
pressured, using the bark
I think
skin,
in Shuffle, Holy
ultimately gets
Paladin, the
feared
reason
up,
why Holy
and that's
Paladin
when they're
hasn't
able
been
to just
buffed
capitalize
in
on that
threes is because in
situation,
Shuffle
swap
they
for
can still
Demon
feel
Hunter.
oppressive to
Got
play
no
against.
cooldowns and just completely overwhelmed
Just 'cause of,
with
like,
pressure
bop
against Lava
stack.
Lava.
Big pressure. Big pressure. Well, that's what happens when you're down at the bottom of the ocean. And I'm really curious where the series is going to go from here. Obviously, best of 5, right? So we're evened out, and the standings, well, don't really favor any of these two teams. And Lava, they get the map pick now. They can change things up in their favor a little bit. I would not be surprised if we go to a little bit of a
I mean, like
larger
Hamsty's
map
much better than I
for
do.
the
It's like Holy Paladin, Wizard
but-
Cleave.
Oh yeah, there's Madraxus. That's going to be a fun one for
That you'll
the
see,
Amaranthus
mostly,
at some point again.
nowadays.
In the meantime,
Oh,
do you
I
think they're
guess
going
Iron
to
Bell.
stick to what they've been running so far?
I think so. I mean, they locked it in the blind pick on the Grand Arena. They locked it in on the small map. I just think overall, these agility cleaves, like I'm going to start calling them the agility cleaves. You know, you mix in a Windwalker, an Outlaw, a Demon Hunter. Maybe we'll see a Feral Druid, something like that. They seem really good, just really well-rounded overall. You have a lot of defense, lots of instant crowd control available.
The question is, so right now we're seeing, I have a question for you guys. Maybe you guys can answer this.
Really difficult.
I'm just gonna mute them for a second.
Kind of pressure, so
So right now we're seeing
yeah, I would not be surprised if they
like
just lock
DH
it in. Obviously,
cleave,
you can see that they
basically
will.
DH cleaves,
But on this larger map, it's just
being
a lot more
played
difficult.
into the traditional comps, the traditional meta comps, like
Wants to sit
Ellie
back, he
DH
is far away
and
from the
DH Moonkin and Rogue Moonkin. So like the old meta is being beaten by DH cleave. So the question is, what do you use to counter DH cleave? What beats a DH cleave right now?
What I'm also a little bit curious about is how much this melee meta just favors Holy Priest, right? Because you get so much extra healing from the Prayer of Mending bounces, and it's just an extra level of
Warrior?
safety that you
I
bring
don't
to your team.
Think so.
on top
Maybe
of just
maybe
the
Fist Weave,
very
but
solid
I don't think so.
healing style with
Outlaw
the
Arcane.
Serenity Burst
That's an interesting.
to just
that-
counteract.
So here's the
Would
thing
you-
with
would you
Outlaw
still
Arcane.
classify this season
Guess
as
who has
best
Outlaw
of
Arcane and lost to
so
DH cleave?
far today, Ven, or
Waz's team did.
shifting a little bit more to a rot meta?
Maybe they didn't play it.
I think it really depends.
Outlaw Arcane doesn't actually necessarily counter it. It might just be too soft.
The last
Maybe Fire Rogue Mage. Fire, but they have that too. Like they have Fire Rogue Mage. Maybe they plan to. Maybe we'll see that today.
I mean, so far it seems like this meta also has the ability to go the
Red Hunter
distance.
Healer?
I know you watch them as well, but
I could see it maybe, but you've got reverse.
Pulling up
from the
Frogs. Those
DH,
games are
and
pretty
Outlaw's pretty durable, and DH is pretty durable. So I don't know.
A lot
But we
more
played this last
power-based,
season, and we did well into those.
based, mana-based. So it seems like you have kind of a mix of everything depending on what you're playing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll get to NA tomorrow, but I wouldn't even call those move games slow paced. That was nail biters all the way through, and I'm really curious if we're gonna get a similar situation here, because the first two maps, I mean, Guz and Dex just living on a knife's edge, if you can even call that. Feels like they've been cutting the soles of their feet the entire series already. So, well, we'll get the sunglasses on, we'll get the clams back in, and we shall see what happens next. Honestly, I think BBM is gonna go up 2-1 here.
You think so? You're going with BBM?
Mira?
Over
Yeah,
Lava
maybe.
Lava? I'm gonna go with Lava. I feel like Coffee, Dex, and Guz, they're looking good. I'm hoping that Dex is gonna be able to create a little bit more space in this map, but yeah, I think your pick definitely isn't bad. They look super good in that last one. That was a really convincing game number 2. I'll have to wait and see what happens. Dex is gonna be.
I mean, the thing with the DH Rogue is they have to play very loose.
And using that
DH Rogue can't just train anything, especially against Nandrid. Every single time the DH has got an I-beam, they should be swapping to something different without HOTS and doing a go on it. That should be their goal. Just continually doing swaps.
Going in for the fears because Dex is
Yeah, no, DH is a changed build.
Spirit
Hamsey.
coming through a little bit of
Hopefully they don't die right now. I don't think they will.
Good, nice song, you know, the workout playlist.
Actually, Sunaki's playing the old build,
BBM,
which is
They're
weird.
pushing forward for more CC, more damage. Guz once again the target, and they're finding Dex with a full kidney. The burst damage just not good enough for the moment, but there we go on the tail end of that CC, taking out half his health bar in no time. But same thing happening to Nala as they're trying to swap around again. Borok trying to stay in position, but this is a rough spot to be in as a priest here.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit of catch-up to do. Guz and Dex positioning far away. That was the darkness that dropped down from Suniki. Just try to slow down that pressure. Baruch still under so much fire here. Forced to retreat back to the pillar, channeling out a symbol of hope to reduce some of those defensive cooldowns for Nala and Suniki. Coffee, in the meantime, is forced into the nether walk and using his trinket. I mean, this is just so back and forth. Pressure from Bikini Bottom Mafia seems a lot better coordinated here, but Nala could fall. Big stun there at about 10% health. Cheap Death saving the day there, but now no longer able to rely on that defensive cooldown. There's no cloak, there's no vanish, there's no cheat, there's no trinket. Nala's in a lot of trouble.
It's an outlaw rogue, so you never quite know. They are fairly tanky, and they also do a good chunk of damage, especially with the Demon Hunter at their side. As Dex,
I mean, outlaw damage has been pretty unimpressive this game, but these games in general.
Right now, but Nala, the swap coming in, Borok trying to do something, but gets feared up. The trinket is coming through. GS with some big heals, but that's the last Serenity. That's the GS they're running out as well. It's only swap from here on out, 45 on 8-path. So not too much to work with here for Borok, which means that BBM just needs to stay on their toes here for another moment. Beautiful fear onto Guz. Dex, the next target, forcing out the Trank.
In trouble.
The Druid strangle it. Oh my
Vanish
goodness.
blow.
That is another sick
He
fear
died
coming
through.
and Suneki is just going to go for the killing blow. What a setup. Lava down on the mat.
Yeah, that Sigil of Misery on Dex is just absolutely nasty. He got out of the Trank, into the Sigil of Misery, into the cheap shot, and eventually went down. Just a really nice, clean setup. Bikini Bottom Mafia, they're showing, you know, why.
Acid dies here, I think, to these teams is the problem. Acid is very killable. Although the cleave is nice, it just isn't a comfortable. You're playing with so much less comfort, but it's actually the cleave would be so good for them.
Really nice. They get the Chaos Nova on Barug into the Sigil of Misery, but he's able to just get out of that.
Yeah, they're getting DH rogued. We liked this matchup into their comp last season.
It's really difficult for Dex. I wonder what his gearing is like, because on a Druid,
Guz is an early main, yeah.
Really low
They don't actually have
a lot of mastery and some.
They have, I think, a lock for it. Do they have like Inferni or something?
Sun and still dies.
We'll see in a second on the draft.
Really unfortunate for Dex. Look at the Sigil of Misery.
Yeah, I think Dex did a great job trying to stay alive here.
I felt like they had DH, LE, DH lock last season.
Hit with the Sigil right out of the Trank. And
such a good
at this point, you gotta ask: is that something you can even trinket, right? And the answer probably is it doesn't matter, right? Because the rogue is sitting right next to you. If you trinket that Sigil, you're into
They have a warrior?
cheap shot immediately. There's no way you're getting anything out there, right?
Yeah, he exited his Tranquility. It was like a
I don't
really
think
good
Warrior is a
free
great
repair,
option here.
by the Demon Hunter Suniki. And he actually left the Tranquility a little bit early. So I think if he sat that entire thing, he might have just immune the Sigil of Midgery. And he could have maybe got off
153k
his,
hit Essence Break, by the
in
way.
order to survive. But yeah, just unfortunate there for his renewal.
Having just begun the game, do
Unfortunate
sparks
there,
being
but
shared for
really clean
PvP and
setups from
PvE
Bikini Bottom
limit
Mafia.
get on my
I'm
ability
really
to?
feeling
Yes,
Lava
they
Lava
do.
Guessing. And I kind of
Well,
wonder,
not sort of.
you know,
You can get the
big
upgrade
question,
pieces if you
and this is
want,
my question for the meta
and
overall,
upgrade the
like, these
PvP gear
agility
and have
cleaves
both
we're
at the same.
talking
You can
about,
craft a piece for
how
both at
good
the
are
same
Rep
time.
Paladins into them? Because I feel like right now Rep Paladins are a little bit underutilized. Like Rep Paladins, sure, they can struggle into some of the wizard comps and stuff like that, but their specialty should be dealing with some of these double melee comps.
They don't
in
really
theory.
deal
I
with
mean,
it.
maybe I'm totally wrong about that.
They just do good damage into
I
it.
would say Red Paladins are pretty good right now. Maybe not like Demon Hunter level good, but still pretty good.
Lego
and
Maze
especially
for
if you think about
only
something
evokers.
like Red Warrior, for example, right? That's stuff that we're getting into the direction of. Okay, someone brought out this agility cleave, this Demon Hunter Rogue, Windwalker Rogue, whatever it is really. What do we pick to counter this? Can we go Red Warrior? Do we even go Red Warrior Fistweaver or something in the direction, right? I think this is very much a scenario where we need to start thinking about what are these counter picks to these agility cleaves, because otherwise we might have a Cup 1 last season scenario on our hands where a team like Hoolibang with a brand new comp just runs away with the tournament, right? And BVM so far? I mean, they're warming up. They're definitely on the good road with there. They've already knocked down Echo to the lowest.
Yeah. I wonder, maybe they bring in the Warrior Demon Hunter. Is that a cleave that can go toe-to-toe? Normally, Warriors are pretty decent in those cleave matchups. You bring safeguards, so you can actually keep the Druid alive. I would like to see it. I think Lava Lava, they need to make a change, and they won't. So they're playing the same thing. But I think this is what you want. Honestly, I feel like if you're playing Outlaw, Demon Hunter, you kind of want to be playing into these solo casters like Guz. So, despite a few close calls, I feel like Bikini Bottom Mafia, they still have an edge in this matchup, and even on Tolveron, I think it might be difficult for Dex to survive.
It might be. What I'm really concerned here is the fact that Coffee is not getting the same pressure out as Suniki, and that's
It's not concerning.
You, Zico, and Super have talked about in the first.
It's
two
matchup
matches
dependent
already, right? That the Demon Hunter on the non-rogue team getting locked down just a little bit more, just not able to stay
Just easy
in the
to
fight as
mess up
much,
their
and
I-beams.
obviously through that having less overall pressure, and this might be one of those scenarios where while Demon Hunter itself is an incredibly
Nice
good
happy.
pick, it might fall behind and maybe I'm leaning a little bit too far out of the window here, but maybe even be a detriment to the comp.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible. I do wonder if they just brought in the Warrior instead, what that would look like. Like, just have carries on the Arms Warrior with the Elemental Shaman, just a classic Thunder Cleave.
I don't think so.
They're obviously opting
yes.
not to bring it in, so we're not going to see it probably, but I am curious about it, because like I said, I feel like there's still things that aren't entirely figured out. In Season 4, especially when people don't have full tier, like on the ladder right now, I think people have an idea of what's good and maybe what's not so good, but in full gear, I think there's a lot of potential here for some answers.
Then I want to pick your brain on this situation a little bit, because you've competed in the past, right? You've been in those shoes yourself. Like, what's the point where
On AWC, he won BlizzCon. I mean,
need to start trying different comps in this series because otherwise we're gonna lose. And of course, a lot of that goes into it. I would assume is how much have you prepped for the weekend, right?
It's a really difficult question, because sometimes you think a composition is going to do well, and when you lose, you still kind of think like, okay, maybe we could have won that. Like, if this didn't go wrong and this didn't go wrong, like maybe this still is a good comp, and you get caught into like a trap. Or
I don't actually think that's what I think. I think Lava Lava doesn't have
the winning
another comp on that level
and if you
other than like DH Warrior.
Win.
Maybe
So really
DH Warrior would be their answer, not
preparation.
The question is, do you drop
war
the
games
alley?
before the tournament? And I think at some point you just have to.
DH Warrior doesn't sound
confident
bad
in
either.
the composition that you have, or the compositions that you prepared, and if it doesn't work, you just go next in the next tournament, because bringing in an oddball composition with no practice. It doesn't seem to work out as much as you might think. So I think I respect Lava Lava's choice. I don't know if their warrior's just not here or if they do think that this is their best option, because the games have been close, right? Like, I mean, Nala has barely survived both of the games that they did end up winning. So there is still options here for Lava Lava.
Well, close or not, well, we'll find out where this goes. And luckily for both of these teams, this is the upper bracket. So loser of this match will go down to the lowers. Of course, that's the shark waiting in the water for a little bit of a midnight snack, but of course, you're not quite out of the tournament. So far, so good. BBM on match point as we're heading into Tolveron Arena, and with the size of this one, and the Netherwalk popped in from Suniki right out of the gate. I was gonna say this is in Lava Lava's favor. This is definitely in Lava Lava's favor now.
Yeah, the defensive cooldown is no longer going to be available. I could see it rotating back up in 3 minutes, but not having that option is definitely unfortunate, to say the least.
I mean, every team, the meta is not solidified. I mean, if there's one thing to go off of Mr. Insanity, it's the fact that we're seeing very different comps today than we saw last AWC on both, on both regions at this point. People are confused.
Really coming in clutch there for Coffee.
Yeah, now Lava Lava is swapping up the strat a little bit. Big swap onto
It's not sure like what the correct, but is this even the correct? Their interpretation of the meta seems to be DH cleave. I don't know if I don't think that's NA's interpretation. I don't think that's the case at all in NA. NA is like Moonkin teams, Rogue Mage, and
trying to get the fear in. Tremor not quite going down in this
that's
situation.
it. I think that's what NA's interpretation of the meta is.
Once again, you mentioned it, Ven. He is
Rogue Mage and Moonkin teams.
Point with his bear.
Yeah, this blind is really awkward. Oh, Coffee's in so much trouble. Netherwalk comes in. Dex couldn't trade the trinket there. That was really good discipline. I mean, a lot of healers would have just snapped trinket, but if you trinket that blind and you heal Coffee, it's just a nightmare, because now you have no bark skin, you have no trinket, you're likely just going to die. The counter pressure coming in for Lava Lava, though. They have a lot of damage. A full hex lands on Baroque. He does have the trinket. Looks like Knowledge is going to tank out a lot of this damage, but he's caught into a stun. Dex getting really aggressive. Maybe just moving in with that wild charge bash and pressure heavily.
PvE and Tent? Not really. There's not any major. The only PvE we're seeing here is Rune on DH, really, that's of substance.
Looking good, and it's
I don't think Storm Slash is very big.
On the back foot.
Yeah, they're stepping back a little bit, but we've seen that before. We've been there. And Lava Lava was not able to finish it off in the last.
I mean, TM matters for sure as well, but you can have that on live right now too.
They're swapping up the targets once again a little bit, but Coffee is trying to get the damage in. Heard us talk about him, and this game around, he is popping off on the damage, just really making BBM's life a living hell right now. Another beautiful static field totem. Guz on point with the peels for Dex this game, and overall, Lava Lava, Ven, they look like they've woken up in game 4 here.
Yeah, they're looking really good. The peel's coming in for Dex, who's been the main pressure point, and they've got a lot of damage. You can see Guz just absolutely crushing the enemy team. Rogue does manage to top everyone up. Another big setup here on the Coffee, who's gotten low a few times in this game, but look at Dex just positioned so far away, and that's the big map really paying dividends for their team. Gets caught into the stun. Is he going to trade the Barkskin? Really not respecting the incoming damage from Nala and Suniki. Just in bear form, will hold on to all his defensive cooldowns, and that setup wasn't super effective, but they're continuing to push the pace. Sun comes in onto Suniki. Maybe they follow it up with a Cyclone. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Dex goes for it, but just doesn't have the range. Now it's going to be Nala taking most of the heat, as Borog is really struggling to heal him, and actually behind on mana a little bit here.
Yeah, not looking too great. You also got to watch for Dex trying to sneak away and get a drink in. Now the Essence Break. That's a big goal. Seneki coming in, and good thing Dex held onto the Bark Skin. Now it's definitely necessary. Borok coming in with the Dispel, sitting on half HP, but out of range. Should be fine here for the moment. Mind Game is trying to line up here onto Guz. Solid go.
Oh,
gets
big trouble.
With the
Nothing. No cooldowns to trade. He's got shift if he wants, but
getting dove like
gets Spam Pillar.
crazy. Coffee really wanting to finish this one off, as the Priest is healed back up in the nick of time, but still the pressure is going to keep on rolling in, and Nala is not going to feel any better anytime soon. Swap is still available. Might be necessary to trade that here in this very moment, but the Serenities.
I don't know if Guz is playing the stuff.
Suneki, Nala both down to 20%. Good in cap. There's the kidney onto Guz. Pressure is down a little bit after this go, but what can BBM do to recover here, Ven? It's not looking good.
Yeah, definitely not. They're all behind the pillar. Rug has a little bit of catch up to do. Nollis is going to vanish out, try to get some stuns. Coffee could easily fall. Oh, that's going to take him down through the damage at the same time. Null and Sudiki are still continuing to rot. They make a swap
directly back to Dex with meta.
Huge amount of pressure. Barkskin and Ironbark trade. Are they going to be able to take him down?
Oh my god, he doubled.
He's getting so incredibly
So now
low.
Coffee just dies if they get a full kitty on him. The thing is, look at Coffee in the next 10 seconds.
And now once again, it's going to be
It's a pretty small window because he's got blur as well.
Yeah.
But they double used, so went blind up.
Is finally paying off for BBM.
Blind and A, they can just be patient. Honestly, next go with a blind kidney on Coffee just wins.
All the CDs on the side of Lava Lava. There's nothing left in the tank here for Dex, and they might get him in this next go. The cheap shot is in
again.
the CC as well.
I can't do that now because they just DR'd him. Look at Coffee in the next 5 seconds.
For another moment, but Dex is not quite out
Gouge.
of it yet. Nala trying to stay
Here
on
we go.
target, but
Full kidney on Coffee.
Down to 30%.
Here's the damage.
Boruk very far up. And
Is there a follow-up?
Mind games coming through as well. The swap onto Coffee once again. The stun is coming through.
Darkness and blur.
It's so damn close.
He freaked out.
Barely thrown
They have
out
blind
to stay
available too.
alive.
They actually DR'd. They would have killed him
Really
though.
close call. These constant
think.
setups on Dex, swapping on a Coffee. Well done there by Bikini Bottom Mafia. About 30% dampening. Rogue channeling out the Symbols of Hope, trying to stay ahead on mana, but Null is so incredibly low with no defensive cooldowns. It's going to be up to Barug 100% to keep him alive, but he has no trinket, so they do manage to find the crowd control. Beautiful static field totem. Shuts down Null's mobility. Let's see if he can find his target. Once again, another kidney shot incoming here onto Coffee. Dex is struggling to keep him alive. He trades out the Iron Bark, but now with no Iron Bark and dampening so high, I feel like Suniki and Nala, you just take down Coffee through everything. We'll have to wait and see if they can hold on to that moment, but
Well,
they
that's
are
what the guys
really struggling
freaking him
to
out.
stay alive. And I think Dex's
Again, it's
single target
Coffee in
healing is
trouble.
starting to
12
really slow down
seconds.
to this heavy of dampening.
Yeah, now
Coffee,
the
cheap
target
shot.
Once again, the innovator's out as well as the
Re-cheap shot? No.
Borog is struggling
Didn't
on
get the
mana
re-CC.
side. Suneki has
They
the
go
network
straight to
working back up,
Dex.
but this
Now it
Nala
dies.
the fire.
Now
Beautiful
it
chaos
dies,
over. The damage
maybe.
is coming through. Essence Break is thrown in. Coffee
Uh-oh.
just really cruising for a bruise
he
right
actually
now as he's taking
ran.
everyone down. The whole team is dying, and BBM
No blind.
trying to get away
He's a
across
fair.
the field and back behind the pillar. Nice fear from Borog. He's trying to do any
Oh,
healing. There's the
divine
spell from
him.
the him is back up. They're trying to stay alive.
No
Nala
way.
getting healed up back to half. Can they take
I think they
it
get top
back
tier.
to the road? Can they
He's
take the
his heals are free.
pressure
Oh no, they
back
don't get
to Lava
tops.
Lava? It doesn't look good, and Gus
Nala's
comes in
got
with another
evasion.
beautiful static field. The stun onto Nala.
They have
Coffee
one go,
really
but they've all got
sending it right now,
trinkets.
but they're trying to connect onto Dex. Another stun, another
We're
go.
gonna see a
Might
game
be
5.
devastating here.
Oh,
They find the druid. They send it. They full send it, but Dex has the Iron Bark, the Bark skin ready to stay alive. Another fear onto Coffee.
I think we're
Nala
going game
is
5.
deterred, but
Nala will
not
die.
done. 20%.
Finish.
Borok with a little bit of mana.
Guz?
Flash
Guz?
coming through. The swap onto Guz, and he powers on 1%. Then he's alive. He is alive.
he might die still.
For how long?
The
He
damp.
might just fall. No,
Oh
at the same
my
time,
God.
We could get a cross kill. Such an unbelievable
Very close.
comeback there from Bikini Bottom Mafia. Unfortunately, not able to find the win.
Insanely
but what a close
close.
call. They were all sub at 20% health, running, hiding behind the pillars. Somehow, some way, they stay alive. And Lava Lava almost loses, but they stay calm. They make the right trades and ultimately pull out a victory from, being ahead on overall pressure and mana. So well done there by Lava Lava, but that was almost the comeback of the century.
Man, I missed AWC. It's so good to be back. This is exactly what I've been waiting for this weekend. Insane, insane games, and this is just the first round of the upper bracket. The team that took down Echo in the open bracket this week, and on the other side, Lava Lava, the ladder kings of Europe, trying to manifest a first place here in the standings. But my goodness, we're going all the way then. Game 5, and I don't
Look at
think
that.
we can
He
really
lived at
pinpoint any
1%.
point in this match. Yeah, it's like both teams just playing out of their minds.
Yeah. I mean, there's a blind. Nala has blind. I feel like if he traded a blind on... I mean, at that moment, it's just like there's so much adrenaline. It's like there's so many things happening. Yeah, it's such a freak out. It's such a close call taking down Guz after like that miracle moment. You can't believe it's going to happen. I do wonder if he got the full blind out, maybe on Coffee, if they could have just ended up surviving that situation. But I mean, you can't really ask for more than what they did. And the thing is, for Bikini Bottom Mafia, even though they lost this game, they get to go into Game 5 with an advantage. So I think we're going to Ruins of Lordaeron, something real small, Dalaran Sewers, Ruins of Lordaeron, something like that, where it's going to be a lot more difficult for Dex to actually survive. That's
gonna be interesting. Runes is a good call. Yeah, no. I can't really think of anything else, right? Because you want to pressure that druid like crazy in these situations. We've seen that on Hook Point. They got some nasty overlaps in terms of def CDs out of decks in those situations, and here just the sheer range allowing decks to stay out of the fight. On the other side, also perfect opportunity, honestly, for Lava to throw in a curveball and bring in a comp that BBM isn't expecting.
Yeah, something a little different. But
Yeah, maybe a warrior.
Nope.
They're gonna play the
Back.
same thing.
It is down
They
on
can't. They
Sewers.
can't really. You can't really change
kinda want
off
Guz to
if
play,
you're
You
in
know,
the
Guz right now, he's
DH Rogue team. That's too close of a matchup.
what if he should be playing
That game that
Traveling
could have
Storms?
gone either way as
It's a
well.
really underrated talent.
I think
He's
that
usually on Shield and
DH
Static
Rogue
Totem,
actually had them in
which
like
obviously
a
lots of value.
losing
Like,
position
one of the things
sooner.
that's best about the Ellie Shaman right now is you have so much ability to knock people around. Like you're knocking people around with Thunderstorm, you're knocking people around with Unleashed Shield, you're knocking people around with Static Field Totem, but the Traveling Storms I think is really nice where you can use it.
That was
on
the
decks.
talent that lets you use it on your teammates, right?
Yeah, that's
Thunderstorm,
Traveling Storms.
knockback? Yeah, gotcha.
But then you kind of wonder, it's like, does it do anything? Like, to be honest, like, against the Demon Hunter and an Outlaw Rogue, I mean, knocking them around, they're back on target instantaneously. Like,
yeah, that's one of these issues against these agility cleaves, right? Windwalker, right back on you. Rogue, Shadow Stab, Grappling Hook, whatever else they have, right? Sprint is available. And then, of course, I mean, I don't need to start talking about Demon Hunter mobility, right? There's so much they can do. And especially if you have a Priest, even Borok able to run in a double Dispel in theory, right? To get out of those roots and all those annoying debuffs, especially great if you're playing against the Shaman already because you want to take that Flame Shock off. So really, really spicy position to be in for Gus, but he's held his own very, very well this series. And yeah, Dalaran Sewers, I'm not sure if this is going to be the pocket pick that BBM is hoping it to be, especially with the knockbacks off the ledges here.
yeah, that's one thing to definitely consider. The knockbacks are really obnoxious. The Demon Hunter's not going to care. Obviously, he can just double jump back up, and maybe the Outlaw Rogue as well. There it is. He gets knocked, he hooks up, but then he gets knocked again. So Guz really showcasing, those different knocks in the game. But ultimately, Nala will get back to target, and it's going to be the swaps on decks that are the most important thing we see here for BBM in this match. They get stun up decks, get the pressure there, get his bark skin, get through his trinket. That's when it becomes really vulnerable.
Good hunt coming through. Nice dodge on this sigil. Coffee trying to peel, but not quite landing it. Really well done by BBM, trying to set this all up. But Suniki now a little bit the target. The Demon Hunter has stayed untouched mostly the first 4 maps, but overall, it's just everyone rotting down on the side of Lava. Dex has every branch in hand to keep them alive. What? No, you can't just die on game 5, man. Pop the cloak. He stays alive.
Borok isn't much of a
Barely making it
defensive.
through, but it's not quite over yet. He burned every single defensive in the book, and Borok only has the swap left available. Defensive blind coming through, a cheap shot set up onto Coffee. The mind game's in as well. Coffee trying to kite away Dex finally out of the CC and stabilizing his Demon Hunter. Guz off healing as well. That was
nice life grip. They're okay. They got trinket swap still. They're not dead. They did use Duck kind of right now for whatever reason. I'm not sure what that's actually on.
At least he has that in his back pocket, pushing forward. And these setups, I feel like Guz, one thing
they need to find a rhythm again with their goes. Nala's almost good. You can see Nala's actually resetting very quickly with AI right now. They might just kill him. That's another no trinket. He pinched the trinket. Go on to Dex.
Set up here on the Dex, who's falling behind on healing really, really quickly. Will use the Iron Bark and Bark Skin to stay alive. So Bikini Bottom Mafia putting themselves back in the game with that sequence of events.
Oh, that's your average shuffle healer panic moment when the Demon Hunter goes above the wall and beyond the corner. Suneki getting swapped now as Borok is trained. Once again, the entire BBM team is just rotting away as Borok is trying to keep them alive. Good Dispel coming in on the dots and the Flame Shocks here. Gonna keep Guz's damage down as well as Nala. 1 second on the vanish, might be able to pop that in, and immediately it is sent. Borok now the target once again. He has nothing left in the tank. 5 seconds onto the Spirit of Redemption. He needs to stay alive.
He gets annihilated.
The swap onto Dex just deletes him. Both healers under pressure like crazy, but it is the tree that cracks and falls.
We're gonna see Lava play later on.
Bikini Bottom Mafia advance in the upper bracket.
Now Dex is definitely wishing he could just go immune to death in angel form. Like, you definitely like to have that answer in that specific situation when it is a healer trade. But really back and forth. Bikini Bottom Mafia, they're going to be sending Lava Lava down to the lower bracket. They sent Echo down to the lower bracket. This team is looking very threatening.
I love it.
Love it too. All right,
All
we'll take a
around.
yeah, let's take a look at this. So this is that panic moment where Dex is freaking out, trying to keep his team alive. Rogue gets so incredibly low, going down to 5% health. He goes for the Void Shift to stay alive on Suniki. And it's the next setup on Dex, so they're able to just kill him straight up through his trinket. So he's got his trinket, and he's got the immunity with the tranquility. Let's see what ends up happening to where he can't get it off. I think it's just an overwhelming amount of burst damage. You see Barug right now taking quite a bit
So
of
there was a
burst
question
damage, and this
before
is what I
about,
think
you know,
he's
what the
supposed to
turning
do.
point was
Spears
for me
the
with
Redeemer
Glad.
in
I didn't
5
have that
seconds.
because I got
Lava
it first
rolls over,
season.
gets the cheap shot.
So no one
Suniki's
else had
there for a
Glad.
big blade
It's a bit
dance.
different when you
They
come
take
in
the
and
eye
you're
beam.
and you've
Literally
got other
just dies in a
teams.
one cheap shot.
You got other teams that already have Glad, and you're trying to contend and kind of ascend to that level. In my case, I started like my first season. It was all happened within that one season, but no one was Glad when I got Glad. You know what I mean? Like everyone Glad at the same time, so it was different.
We'll have the death log there, but that was a crazy amount of damage on Dex. And what do you even do there? Like Dex in that situation, the only play he could have made, looking back, is just immediately trinketing and using his tranquility. But I think it was just at the end of the first cheap shot, he got bursted so hard it made it really.
Not every season. I missed it on one season. I didn't play that season. I mean, I played very little. When Wrath Classic came out, I played the season 4 of Shadowlands. I didn't really play much. The team didn't play at all.
But you don't want it because
That was
it's a waste of
insane.
time anyway, right?
I'm only missing that one.
It's so much damage, man. Second map that Dex gets absolutely insta-gibbed in a CC that's not worth trinketing. The poor man is suffering. Look at this, 280k essence break.
Yeah, that's a big damn between the eyes. Like look at how fast he just toppled over. He went from 80% health. 80% health in 2 seconds to dead. So he just got basically 100 out in 2 seconds. That's tough.
Well,
Has a Demon
welcome to the
Hunter
upper
won
bracket.
every series so far today?
Considering we've had Demon Hunter on every team so far.
That's probably
yes.
a fair.
But Demon Hunters actually are really well represented. More than I thought, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know,
They're
it's
doing big damn, that's for sure.
yeah, most definitely. As you can see here and in the rest of our previous games, but yeah, those are the kind of series where I'm like, man, I wish I could talk right now because I was screaming right alongside with you guys, but really intense back and forth here.
DH is really crazy. I want to do some testing with that. I may end up gearing. I may swap what I was doing. I was going to get this character today. I may recommit everything into DH and try and get that character to get up. I don't know if I can actually do it though.
Today, that
But
is going to be
it seems worth
the
it.
Lava Lava in the upper bracket. At least they do have another chance to fight it out down there in the lower bracket. So they're going to be.
I do think
knocked down
Rhett
against
may have a place
Ube
too, randomly.
later on.
We'll see. So
today,
now we've
actually,
got
so we will be able to get to see
Chibaki
that series.
Tensei
Of course,
versus
it'll
Streamer Zone.
be a team that's gonna be
This
playing
is
up against
so
Echo,
Streamer
will be
Zone.
determined by this next up
Streamer Zone.
event.
This team right here. This is Jungle. This is Tony. And this team is Mercy.
I wasn't.
Um,
I was, but I'm ready
it's
for you to prove me wrong.
It's basically they've got like DH. What are we looking at here? Who'd they beat to get there? I don't know. This team was previously DH Lock. It's Infernian. It's a bunch of interesting teams. They're really strong, but I don't think they have. Do they have Rogue? I don't think they have Rogue.
They play Jungle Cleave and the Feral Mage Priest, and they've got
thing
kind
is-
of.
This is a really weird one. This will not be. That could be a DH Cleaves too. They have a really good DH.
With P-Make, and then the veterans of Casu,
Really
Relza,
interesting.
and Tony Farrell. Like, I think this is an incredible team.
This is like.
Give me one sec, guys,
you're
while we're
underselling
waiting.
them a bit, Ven. Like,
Actually,
this
I'll
is
put a
not just
prediction up. You guys can vote
This is
while I'm
like-
AFK.
This is a literal
Prediction.
BlizzCon or just general AWC championship roster. Relza, Tony, and Casu won AWC back in, I think, 2022 it was. So this is a powerhouse reunited after Tony and Casu have been struggling this
you guys
entire
got
expansion with finding their groove.
5
and
minutes.
finding
I think there's a
the
little
healer
break
that
probably.
really
Give me one
matches
sec,
well
guys.
with them. So now they got Relza back in. They got P-Make for the mage kind of variety in the team as well. So they could be really, really spicy. I'm super excited to see them back.
Yep. I am as well. So hopefully that will be a banger of a series. Is going to be coming up, of course, after this break. But before we go to the break, you guys know what the deal is at this point. We're going to do yet another map guessing segment. Guess along with us. This series, of course, this segment, of course, powered by Warcraft Logs. So let us know what you think
All right.
this map is. Let's see. Dalaran.
Yeah, looks like you're going with Dalaran.
It's like grand.
Yep. Wait, I got snapped.
So fast.
It's my buzzer. I
Dang.
don't know.
I'm locking in a grand. That's mine.
Lock in the Grand. You locked in Dalaran. I guess I can just wait for as long
Yeah,
as I want.
you can take your
Yeah,
time
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sit back,
My
lean back,
options-
little gamer lean.
My options are Tiger's Peak or Ashamane's Fall. What are we thinking here?
I think it's. Can I change my answer?
No.
No.
Damn it.
You can't final answer. They're playing around one pillar, which is really interesting.
No, that's a box.
The box.
This is Dalaran.
I wonder.
It's either. I think it's Tiger's Peak actually.
Yeah, I think I'm wrong.
Tiger's Peak. I'm thinking.
Or is it Dalaran?
Maybe it is Dalaran. It's a square.
What is going on? These players are just positioned. I said
Wait,
Ashmane's.
They're not there. Woo!
Oh, it's
It's zoomed in. Oh
Let's
my
go.
god. Huh?
That's crazy.
You know what gave it away? The shooting out of the.
Also, I want to know what
the
game
sun.
this was. When do all 6 players just sit on one box for this long? Like, what is this? Is this like a Punch Monk game? Like, there's got to be like
Kinda
some sort
looks
of like
like it.
cleave matchup where everyone's just like, look at that. When do you see all the healers just on top of each other like that?
All melee and
All right.
two. What's up?
How safe is the bet of saying there's at least one demon hunter in here?
I don't know.
That's
Have you
pretty
seen any
safe, I
fell
think.
rushes? I don't know what a.
Yeah.
That looked like a fell rush, right? Oh, that was a fell rush. I think it's pretty safe.
Well,
Well, I was wrong. That I just admit I was dead wrong on
Same.
that one. So I'm okay with that though. That was a tough one. Great job, Aya.
Thank you. I just had a premonition. I know my
Oh.
my sewers apparently. All right. Well, we're gonna head into a break. It is Chewbacca at Tensei versus StreamerZone.gg. Coming up next after this break. Let us know in chat if you got that one correctly. But there's always next time. Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are still here in the upper bracket before we head down to the lower bracket to knock some teams out. Is Chibaku Tensei versus StreamerZone.gg. Supatees. Chibaku Tensei. Can't remember your predictions specifically, Supatees, but I'm guessing Chibaku Tensei was in there somewhere.
I think it was second and Hulabang was first.
Okay.
Chibaku is looking just really well rounded. Mercy has definitely stepped up. I think it's really important that the Warlock mains of the teams start picking up the Balance Druid for this season, or at least this cup, because I think the Warlocks are not going to be too useful. But at the same time, Streamer Zone, formerly known as My Way, I think they substituted on Luxia for a significant amount of time throughout Dragonflight, and they were not getting the same types of placements, albeit jungle wasn't, necessarily as top tier as it was when they won previously in the AWC. But now in this patch, it seems like with Relza back in the mix and Holy Priest being as represented as it is so far, that he could be the MVP for this team and possibly really
all right, votes should be in. What do you guys predict?
Teams, because nobody else is running with a Hunter.
You guys have 50%.
It seems like
I don't even know what comps we're gonna see.
Or a Feral Druid. Yeah. So
I guess we'll see jungle probably, because Cleave's been doing well today. In general, like jungle versus what though?
The real winner is really the team that can play off
DHGK.
Kick some
This is the team that could play DHGK.
So we'll find out if
But Houston only plays Asham. Is it possible?
It's kind of the thing.
It's a main DHGK team.
It's like,
what else would they even play?
Really, really good. It's barely ever. That's why
it might be DHGK. They don't have Rogue.
And I don't think I can think of any.
I don't think Limps plays Windwalker. Mostly plays Warriors. So you might see TSG. TSG could be a thing.
It's like you develop this ability to win in every single situation.
I have no idea what to even expect. Chibaku Tensei, we wargamed a whole bunch on EU, when we were playing on the East Coast, and they play a ton of stuff, but it's like all shaman based.
Of course, they've won AWC in the past.
They have like Ret Warrior.
I think they've not lost.
They have Ret DH. Ret DH could be good. Ret DH sounds good.
They're really, really doing well on jungle of all things.
All right, what's spec of Hunter? Looks like a marksmanship
Moonkin. Oh, this way Moonkin. This way Moonkin DH. I don't know if he played Moonkin. Okay.
Marksmanship Hunter.
All right.
It
The
does
classic.
a lot of damage right now. I will say that. Having played against it a couple times in solo shuffle, it can burst you for like over 50% of your HP. So even against a balanced,
Just the literal classic.
Classic, a balanced turret. Houston's actually deciding to play the Resto Shaman. I'm wondering if he
just let him go here and the noise will go away.
I don't think that Resto Shaman is particularly that strong in a marksman. Here comes that sniper shot, ripping it out on
Max
and looking to burst him down the opener. He's playing max distance. He
I mean,
his freezing trap. They get
let's think about this for a sec.
They're switching their attention onto Mercy now, and look at that pressure onto him. He's into bear form right away, actually, and he's going to be ducking around the corner for a moment, then getting back into the fight, tossing out that incarnation. But
I'm not sure what to expect from this.
Trade 1-for-1 with a marksmanship Hunter in the middle of
nah, Cassie plays more than Mox. He plays all three specs, doesn't he?
To quote my shuffle healer the other day,
they're gonna try and kill Limps.
You're dead, bro, and
it definitely they have fucking Limps up.
Knocked down to 20%.
Yeah, Limps is vulnerable to this burst. Ferals can do like on live with unoptimized gear 350k bites. Mox can do 300k aim shots on here, I assume. The other thing with Mox, if you want to see something interesting, just before they one-shot him, Mox has basically a legendary bow. Look at his bow here. 535 bow. Mox is much stronger. Mox and BM are both much stronger on here.
Really struggling at the start of this game to get a grip on either Tony or Cass.
I mean, I think the PV with might not be better. By the way, I don't think Storm Slash is necessarily better.
He fakes the wind shear. He gets the Trinket Spirit Link with that Cyclone. Tony's been getting a lot of precognition procs off that wind shear, and even despite that Shaman disruption, the CC from Tony has been critical to them getting ahead in this match, and Casu is just laying down pressure constantly, forcing them back. Another half HP chunk down onto Limps. He's eventually retreating back to his team at the pillar. Tony's charging in, but he charges into a Cyclone from Mercy, and Mercy is just trading with the Hunter. If he's not casting aim shot or sniper shot, you're going to be a decent spot to trade with him, and it looks like he's just focusing on steady shot, regenerating his focus right now. We see the Fury of a Loon down on Tony. This is a big moment for Mercy to get a lot of damage out, but Solar Beam's not going to connect too long here with Relza playing Gnome as well as the Hunter Freedom to allow him to easily escape that. Casu is pushing in aggressively. Houston lays down the Earthen Wall Totem. He's anticipating the attack. Casu really wants to try and get a freezing trap, I think, with his position. Maybe just a scatter to play it safe. rapid fire over onto the Demon Hunter. This is the tough spot as a hunter, is how do you finish the match? They got a bunch of cooldowns and a ton of pressure, but they need to get on top of their opponents, which is super risky. They missed the trap there. It looks like it was either grounded or missed by Akasu, so Houston will avoid that CC. And now that they're stacked up on the pillar, the Demon Hunter can cleave them. Look at this double stun, double cleave pressure. This is the challenge for the jungle cleave, is how can they close the match without being punished? The swap onto Tony, he's almost going down through Barkskin.
Oh, he gets the precog. Should be able to cycle on limbs off of that, and just so he does. Mercy still struggling a little bit, but the big thing we need to focus on, if Mercy doesn't just outright die here while Houston is sitting on ice, limbs getting swapped to Rake Stun coming through, is the fact that Houston is sitting plushy, comfy, and just very, very happy on 80% mana, while Relza is just pumping the blue bar with a garden hose on his entire team. So in the long term, even though Relza is getting a bit of a drink right now, that's actually pretty massive. I don't think they're going to be in the best of situations down the line here in a few minutes.
Oh, another stun. Here comes the Essence Break. Massive damage ramp for Limps here. But he's actually just ducking away, looking for crowd control during that Essence Break. They get a D-Yard capstone into the full fear on the healer, but Houston's in a trap. Limps reverses it. Tony fakes another interrupt. Tony's doing such a great job. This is such an insanely difficult comp to get through all the interrupts, the grounding totems, and actually get Cyclones
It's in trouble.
You're very squishy.
He has to run a lot. He's really, really vulnerable into this.
On the run. He gets caught in the stun.
Oh my, big chomp, dead. Trinket, but what's he got? Trinket blur? Not even blurring. Blur's late.
Tony's caught behind the pillar on his extension to try and win the game. And it's such a tough choice.
Casu in trouble. Casu in trouble.
But every time you push in,
GS hits.
Huge amount of damage.
Should be okay.
Casu gets cloned low health. Mercy denies the Cyclone from Tony with the
So
solar
Limps has got pre-nether, and he's, yeah, I mean, he's got Darkstone too. Pre-nether Dark.
Pushing in again onto the Demon Hunter.
The question is, like, are they really getting much done here? Mana-wise, it's pretty even. I think Limps is just more consistently under pressure. Aim shot, connects, nether, darkness in 5, meta in 5.
Out of the way. Now Chibaku need to get
Limps is just so vulnerable here. Maybe it may be instant darkness. Basically, the next big stun can just be death.
Gotta watch out for the
interesting part here is that the Moonkin is pretty much has free reign. They're kind of ignoring him. Mercy in trouble. Aim shots.
Delete someone. We've seen that time.
I think Limps gets killed here in a second. If they can line it up with. Here it is, sniper shot. Here comes stun. No.
Here comes Mercy. Big dam coming through. Limps is the target though. He's down to 30%. The blur finally
clones him. MDs, reclones on the MD.
A little bit of time to deal with it as Mercy pops in the innovate for his healer and is gonna just go on the offensive, pushing back Casu to the other side of the map. Tony now going for the lead.
Tony in trouble. Tony dies. Huge hit.
Completely deleted. What a turnaround.
What an insane fucking typhoon, man. It was just a typhoon delete. Chewbacca gets game 1. I don't actually. I don't know, man.
Vulnerable, so if you catch Tony in that position, you can just close the game out. They had
being
really
killed. Wait, no.
But as soon as Chibaku Tensai went just full turtle mode,
got knocked off, I guess.
All day, it became really.
All right, predictions going out for game 2.
Be able to finish them round.
I kind of feel like Jungle
this could work on other maps.
Should have won that.
That's more open.
That's 5 minutes. It's way too long.
Stack up on the pillar and
I kind of feel like Jungle could and maybe should have won that.
Any map where there's going to be a sizable pillar,
which is weird.
Would just get in this position where they can turtle it out. I mean, Houston's mana was looking so good throughout this. They weren't really winning on that front. And it's just Tony struggling the entire game, whether it's to get a clone out,
I don't know.
Or it's to get some damage out. Or
it's Mox is the only Mox is doing a lot of damage
from start to finish. So in these final moments of the game, he saw he got a
maybe Holy Priest isn't ideal there. Randomly, I wonder if it's something else.
MD'd out of a cycle into a recycle. That was nice.
But you want the Mox is what kills. The Feral is setting up, and the Feral has big execute, like giant bites. And they've got like sniper shot.
So he gets knocked back into the hunt route, into a stun, trinkets it, and just explodes. That was such a crazy catch by Houston, that thunderstorm, to put him out of range of his healer. Because when you wild charge and cat, it automatically puts you behind the target. So I don't know how deliberate it was for Houston to have like his back facing the starting room, because if he was facing the other direction, right, he'd be knocked into the middle of the map. But to have his back facing that direction so that the Pharaoh would go even further away from where Relza was. This is like actually insane.
That's not a shit show on his somewhere.
Evaporates from
except this is a shit show on how to fight.
I'm gonna say Chibaku has been playing so well. I would be very inclined to believe that he's intentionally baiting to an extent. But then again, on the other side, right? We gotta talk about Tony and Relza, Streamer Zone in general. A roster that is just so incredibly experienced. I think one of the most experienced teams in the AWC in general, right? And, as I was talking about, jungle never really, or rather in the rarest of cases, jungle a comp that is dictating the match in terms of we're only using.
All right, we need a little bit more.
It's like it feels like jungle almost always
Serve?
plays a little bit from behind.
Yeah,
So if you're playing serve, you're playing it differently. You're playing serve to play on top of
unfortunately. Although this is a pretty common exchange as a shaman
the Moonkin, right?
When you get
BM is you play BM or Mox to try and kill the DH.
You kind of have to be aware too.
You be playing serve to try and play on the Moonkin.
Thunderstorm, which sometimes you get disrupted by something else, but if you try and cast it in melee range when Thunderstorm is up, that's like just the common exchange as a shaman versus a druid. So
and you get cleaved.
Really unfortunate.
I'm not
just
convinced.
Immediately through renewal, and he got his frenzy off.
Which one's
too.
Caster?
Like,
Caster's the hunter.
Trinket Bear frenzy renewed and just.
Am I leveling? No, I'm getting my Spox done.
200k essence spread. The ability. That
I'll do some
increases
gearing
your
today as
damage,
well.
you get it for 200k, and then he got overkilled by a dot tick. By Mercy in the final second of the game. That was just a lot of damage all at once. Surprisingly, I mean, it's a big map, so it's harder to like get back to the pillar when you make your push. But if Chibaku just sit at the pillar, they can also static field in the Feral Druid back behind the wall, or the Hunter back behind the wall. So I'm curious to see how this map plays out for them. I think that Casu definitely has the damage potential to win this matchup. It's about getting Chibaku.
Deckmax is playing with Rogue.
Finish the game though. And
the Rogue is the boss, the explosive damage in that comp.
Yeah, it's gonna be
right. Do they have Feral?
Rough. I think the thing that is gonna
Hunter seems good this season though. And the other thing is that Survival doesn't have the scaling with PvE gear that
obviously so far,
like BM and Mox both have a 535 weapon. 535 weapon is a big deal in terms of just its passive damage.
A game or two or three, but never really more than that. So still kind of the question, how well does Shaman keep up, and how much of this is just Houston's comfort zone?
I mean, it's definitely comfort.
So I mean, you can make Mox use the ring too, if you want to. There are ways to get proc.
Like he was playing DPS before, and now he just logs on Resto Shaman, and I swear, like he can rival like Sea-Doo or Absurge. Like he's insane on Resto Shaman.
Houston's really fucking good. Houston is insane.
It is crazy how quickly he adapted to that role, and now he's performing on it now. Considering all the other teams, like Lone Tar went Holy Priest, right? He's also another play that you would expect if Shaman is even remotely good, that he would be staying on Shaman. But even Lone Tar went on to the Holy Priest. Sea-Doo's been playing the Preservation. Absurge has been the other Shaman that has stayed on Shaman. Curious to see what they actually do in North America, if they're going to make any changes, because he actually has a Priest as well. I think they played RMP in the open bracket. Houston is still just powering through with it. And I think if you utilize its offensive capabilities with the knockbacks and the static field totems and the lassos, then it can definitely contend. I think where Resto Shaman starts falling behind is when you play too passively.
Passive.
I need one more of these.
I think that's a good point. Then again, do you really ever get into a situation against a jungle comp where you're passive, right? It's basically just you're either having the
top
foot on
DH
the
players.
gas pedal, or you're
there are a
chirping
lot
behind your own
of really
pillar
insane
because you wanna
DHs,
just
like
stay
really
behind
insane
the
DHs. It's really hard to
think
like be like,
Houston
okay, there's
is
only this
really gonna
small
run
group.
into any issues
There's
of,
probably like 30 good,
having to
like 20, 30 really
this
insane
thing
DHs right now.
stay passive. It's more about
I actually couldn't tell
can
you.
keep up once his team
You could
really
say a
goes
name and be
for
like,
the
is he a
kill,
good
but
DH? And I'd probably say yes.
Communication, their gameplay in general has been so on point.
DH is
that
one of
I'm
those-
not too worried in this situation. They are one of the 3 best teams in this AWC season after all. So, let's see where things go. We're kicking it off map 2 on Tolviron Arena. And Streamer Zone looking for a little bit of CC here for the opener.
Relza is back. Former champions reunited. Are they going to be able to do it in this meta? They're immediately actually starting on the healer with that Chaos Nova, but Tony catches Limps with a Rake Stun, and he is just getting blasted. Insane damage. Trinket Netherwalk quickly off the rip, and it's Tony who's going to clutch out these stuns for the Hunter to spike him down with aim shots and rapid fires, and Casu is really tearing in right now. Tony's doing a lot more damage in the initial stages, but needs to be careful to turn it around. Here comes an Essence Break onto Tony. He's going to Bark Skin as Relza is into a clone. They bash Casu. I love the cross CC from Mercy here. remove the healer and the DPS at the same time. Then clone Casu as soon as Relzy uses defensive. Mercy is cloning so well right now. Clones the trinket over onto the hunter, clones the feral now. He is just going clone crazy. Tony doesn't want to trinket because he doesn't want to get caught in a stun and just immediately explode. So he's playing this out conservatively, but they've got limps in the middle of the map with no trinket. So if Tony can line up a stun here and interrupt the cyclone so that the DPS doesn't get stopped, they could drop limps. Now he's got vengeful retreat that allows him to immune incoming crowd control, so he's going to be looking to time that. Tony bears the stun. He's in a good position. He fakes the cyclone. That means they can't get the setup here. Rels is going to go into that cyclone, and Tony is just ducked into bear form. Now he's into the clone. Mercy gets stunned. They're trying to slow down their assault. Now they're baiting limps. Cassio is pulling limps, and limps isn't falling for that. He immediately hits who's ever closer to Houston. He's going to go back onto the feral druid. That's actually turtling here. What is he trying to bait them to hit him instead of the hunter or instead of the feral? That would, or maybe a turtle the clone. I think he turtled the clone, but even turtling the clone doesn't seem like a huge amount of value in this position. It wasn't like they were about to win the game. Now he's just down his turtle. Typically, though, you are going to attack the feral druid. You just don't want them generating combo points. You want them in bear form. You just totally neutralize them when you're able to force them in bear for a prolonged period of time.
For the moment, it's looking good. I mean, Casu is lined up with the lasso right now. Big damage coming through for Mercy. The Star Surge is really hurting, and Casu does not have a turtle, as you just mentioned, Super. Tony getting swapped to now. It's looking rough, but Limbs pops in the darkness preemptively. Is going to stay in that, is going to bait Tony further in and welcome him with open arms and loads of damage available.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! What?
That's what
the Kobe and Shaq of the AWC line it up and
he just
dunk
looked
on
at
him.
MQ's really
Tony
good,
gives the alley-oop and Casu gives
yeah,
the
that's
dunk.
what I was thinking. I thought that would happen in game 1.
Erased
It's
at that
both.
point in the game. And here I'm thinking like Casu just
All right,
threw his
game 3
turtle
coming
away,
in.
tried to
They'll
recover it,
replay
it
this
didn't seem like it
hopefully.
really mattered.
I want to
Tony's
see
just
this.
been dead the whole game. Mercy's been getting all of these insane clones. It really feels like Chewbacca is going to be able to win this game, but they catch him with no trinket. He doesn't have the pre-blur either available. No vengeful retreat right now. What exactly hit him? Hopefully we can slow it down exactly when it happened, because I swear it was like 60% of his health in one global. But the map really worked out because of all the open space, and they tried to punish Casu here with the lasso, and they went for a beam on the healer. Now there is one way you can punish gnome racial. You can root beam and then go bear form and bear root. I would actually like to see Mercy do that. I think on that setup right there, it could have actually been really scary, but Limp's actually pre-darknesses. He's actually in darkness, which gives you a small chance to avoid attacks. He gets stunned for 2 seconds and darkness ends. He's stunned for 0.5 seconds. Sniper shot goes off right at the end of the stun and just clocks him. Houston tried to trinket Link, the sniper shot hit, but it looked like his Link missed maybe. I think it went after he died, but it might have missed as well. But they just disrespected the sniper shot. Like that was really telegraphed. Like he is stunned. He's in the middle of the map casting sniper shot. You don't have blur. Like this thing is gonna hit you really hard if you're not a play target.
But realistically, it's like, what are you even gonna do? You just set out the entire darkness. Houston was sitting in CC.
He's full
and
HP.
it's
He
just
has
a
darkness
situation of,
only.
what can you really do? Spirit Link might work out in that situation, but yeah.
He
It's
pre-docks.
just rough. I mean, it's a full bash onto Houston into an ice trap. At some point, you might have to consider a trinket here, but then again,
I
it's
mean,
just
Doc
Tony
fades.
just
Full HP.
sitting there.
Nah, it's sniper
being
shot, man.
pressured. There's
Boop.
no kill potential right now. But Limbs at half HP. There's the trinket Link from
That
Houston.
is actually insane.
And just, yeah, I think you phrased it perfectly. Super. They did not pay the respect to sniper shot that was due. Look at this, 430k. Windwalker who?
The sniper shot build, and I found that on my hunter last season. Is such a fun ability. It just hits really hard, and it increases your range too. So you can just cast this thing from camouflage from like across the map, and then all of your other arrows are just increased range, and other people can't even target you. You're so far from the game with this ability. It's super fun. I feel like if you're playing MM Hunter and you're not playing sniper shot, you're missing out on like the thing that actually makes it fun right now. So we're going to Hook Point. It's a small map, so if there was a point, I think, for Casu to maybe consider like Survival Hunter, I think it's probably going to be on a map like this.
You could also consider bringing in.
And it is not played
Mage.
today. No, we play tomorrow. I'm streaming early takes. I'm probably stopping early
This
tonight. I won't be
matchup
streaming.
on
I may not be
this
streaming at all
is
tonight, to be
a
honest.
weed.
Depends what you want to do.
I don't know. I don't know if I
Might be.
So I'm gonna get my stream out of the
I'm actually
way
expecting Chewbacca to
today.
bring the warrior.
really. I think they're gonna play. It could be safer. You lose reverse magic.
Just sit the hunter.
You could do warrior boomkin.
Warrior demon hunter, maybe.
Warrior boomkin could be really tanky too. I feel like with intervene, stormbolt, disarm.
I need a whole bunch of honor on this guy.
Warrior definitely removes the liability of the demon hunter as the target. It basically makes it, I think, so it's only the moonkin, which is probably more ideal. Because right now it's kind of the moonkin can die, so you, as the shaman, you switching your earth shield a lot between the two of them at certain
Buy a
points,
few
which
things.
put you in an awkward spot. But they're not changing the comp. They're probably just chalking that up to like, okay, he cast sniper shot, we didn't react to it properly, and that was.
They reacted to it properly though. That wasn't not reacting properly. They reacted properly. They just died anyway.
So
it didn't matter.
Adaptions are the name of the game here, but it's not like Chibaku is running out of options here. Of course, best of 5, 2 more maps for either team to clutch out this series and continue in the upper bracket. Of course, the winner will have to face up against Bikini Bottom Mafia, and the loser, I think that is the scary part about this matchup here. The loser is going to go down and face Echo in the lower bracket.
Oh my god. You have to face Chibaku, and then if you lose, you got to face Echo. I mean, you don't want to be in the lower bracket, period. Lava's down there. There's 2 of the 3 tied for top 3 in the lower bracket. Chibaku would be the 3rd, knocked down to the lower side, which would be insane. I mean, if Streamers don't manage to pull this off against Bikini Bottom Mafia for Championship Sunday, that would be very unprecedented and unexpected, being those 2. Streamer Zone's not new, but they're slightly reformed, and then Bikini Bottom being like a newly formed roster with already previously experienced players, kind of just knocking the top 3 to the bottom bracket so early would be an impressive showing for cup number 3, because this and the next one are your last chances to qualify and earn enough points. You want to be in the top 3 for a guaranteed spot.
Oh, they're going on
$300,000. You don't want to be playing it through the gauntlet.
Try Leech.
You've seen teams and players even like Swapsy who can't make it out of the gauntlet alive. So top 3 is the comfy spot. That's where you want to be.
Top 3, definitely. And with a 3-way tie, EU is looking very, very spicy here. But Lemps is the first one into the fight. Mercy is looking for a Cyclone, but gets kicked by Caster immediately. A little bit of rapid fire. Arrows flying left, right, and center, and Houston gets caught in the first ice trap. Short one, and still reversed by Limps.
So
not taking
1-1.
any chances here, as he gets main stunned and eyed up by Tony immediately. Nibbling on his ankles here a little bit.
We want to look at the trades here. I'll try and break him down a little bit. Blur's already traded out here.
In a long CC chain, Limbs
This is end of his true shot, so he just traded on the true shot.
Tony at half, lots of damage going.
Glimpse at half. He's already in this weird spot. Like he's not a glimpse either.
He's got his wall up and he's just trading damage with the Demon Hunter. Now, I think Murphy's made a really good adaptation here. I'm not sure if he's playing in the last game or not, but he's running the Fairy Swarm so he can disarm.
Ooh, Fairy Swarm is very good. Disarm. Use it on Sniper.
Instantly on a rapid fire. It stops the remaining damage of the rapid fire. So if he's